myself into gear. Let's go. Oh, and I feel good today with my wake up in the morning espresso. I feel good today. It's my feel good breakfast show.
Good morning.
Good morning. You know, I had this dream. I had a dream that every day I get to wake up with like 1 million people and meet these amazing, amazing guests, be inspired by the most incredible stories and eat chocolate, Easter-inspired chocolate for 3 hours. Hang on a minute. It's real. That's what I get to do every single day. It is a dream. Good morning. Welcome to it. Oh, it is so good to have you in our company for the next 3 hours. And it's going to be all about our morning routine this morning. We're going to have a little bit of fun. I'm very excited. I'm going to be getting some grooming advice from one of the, I'm going to say he's one of the best looking players to have ever played the game, but he is also one of the most talented South African footballers ever. Diko Modise is going to be giving us some grooming tips. We're also going to have a great catch up as well. Can't wait for that.
Amazing. And speaking of that morning routines, even something as simple as prepping for your kids for school, especially in their Easter-inspired outfits. We'll be giving you all of those tips, as well as I'll show you a little bit about my own routine on the mornings that I'm not on the show, what I get up to at home.
You just sleep in? Come on.
No, I don't. So you'll see that. You'll see that.
I just have a vision of like 20 minutes of you just lying there.
I don't wake up at 3:30, but I do sleep in a little.
Just a touch, man. Then we're going to catch up with one of our Sunrise contributors, and we love you guys sending us the amazing morning photos that you do. And that, of course, will be part of our weather report. Nikki Bazaden-Hout, we are connecting with you this morning. And if you're feeling a little bit of FOMO, we are also going to bring you a professional photographer. Jacob Lunt is going to be here to show us how to capture the perfect sunrise at the perfect moment.
Well, we're certainly looking forward to that. And of course, if there's one person that always catches the sunrise over weekends, he has to say
generally from a really good vantage point as well. Morning, son.
Good morning, team. Don't mind me out here just kicking it on this beautiful Tuesday. Of course, from Zanzi, you choosing us and we choosing to spend it with you. My name is Raul Demone, and thank you once again for joining us this morning. Now, of course, the first thing we do before we even kick off the show, we get to chat to you, of course, and it's one of my favorite parts of the morning. And this morning, we're asking you, what are the 3 things that you do to kickstart your morning? Now, of course, there's so many options, there's so many ways to do it, but to increase and include positivity in your day, what exactly is it that you do? Now, my routine differs. Of course, if I always had a choice, I would definitely suggest greeting the sun. It allows you to set your intentions for the day. But number 2, I get the choice to wake up and spend it with you, Mzansi, and I always make sure that I'm sharing and spreading that positivity. But more than anything else, I know that when we wake up in the morning, we all get to make a choice, and that's why today is called Tuesday, of course. Now, you can choose happiness, you can choose the life within you, and you can choose to do anything you wish. And with that being said, what a beautiful day it actually is, because we get to celebrate the potential of absolutely anything. Now, that, of course, is Mzansi's cure for us today, and another authentic way to start your days with Authenticos. So while we get to this, of course, guys, you have a beautiful start your morning. Let's find out what's happening first up in the news.
Thank you, Raul. Starting with national news, President Cyril Ramaphosa says the Aspen manufacturing facility in Gqeberha in the Eastern Cape will produce 30 million vaccine doses for SA in April alone. The rollout is set to start in the same month. Ramaphosa yesterday visited the facility and said it had the capacity to produce up to 300 million doses of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine annually. Ramaphosa added that Aspen had invested more than 300 billion rand in the facility. The Aspen Group CEO, Stephen Saad, said his committed team worked 18-hour days to ensure that SA received batches. And staying with local news, Police Minister Becky Cele says changes to legislation on police handling of large crowds have been included in the recommendations of a panel investigating policing and damage control. The panel was appointed after the Farlam Commission's investigation into the Marikana shooting on 16 August 2012, when police fired on striking mine workers at the then Lonmin Platinum Marikana operations in Northwest Province. 34 miners died. One of the recommendations is that automatic weapons may not be used in crowd control. And moving beyond our own borders, with thousands of Palma residents in Mozambique's northern Cabo Delgado province fled to the town port city of Pemba. This follows after ISIS soldiers attacked the town with its giant gas plant last week. Dozens of people, including a South African, were killed in the attack. ISIS, meanwhile, has claimed responsibility for the attack, saying it has taken control of the town after days of fighting with Mozambican forces. And staying with news abroad, customs officials in Ecuador have discovered 185 baby tortoises in a suitcase that was being sent from the Galapagos Islands to the mainland. The reptiles had been wrapped in plastic and were found during a routine inspection at the main airport on the island of Baltra. 10 of them had succumbed. One of the biggest threats to the Galapagos tortoises is illegal trading for animal collectors and exotic pet markets. Officials combating wildlife trafficking say hatchling-sized juveniles can fetch sums more than $5,000 each. And next, some local birders and public assistance is requested. Local birding communities and the general public have been urged to look out for ringed Cape cormorants along the Western Cape coastline. Good news is seabird rescue group SANCCOB's announcement that it would begin to phased release back into the wild of the some 2,000 Cape cormorant it rescued from Robben Island in mid-January. In coming weeks, the birds will be regularly graded for release readiness, and groups of 40 to 100 are to be placed in temporary aviary built in the island of SANCCOB carries out a soft release process. All birds released will be equipped with metal rings and a subset, which will also be individually marked with color bands for easier identification. Bird watchers are requested to report ring re-sightings and the date and location to SAFRING and SANCCOB. Kindly note the letter number combination and ring color. Ring re-sightings can be reported to SAFRING or to SANCCOB. Should an injured seabird or a dead Cape cormorant with a ring be encountered, kindly contact SANCCOB as well. SANCCOB's telephone number is 021 557 6155. Your assistance is greatly appreciated. Well, that's where we leave your morning headlines. Here is a first look at your sport for today.
Thanks so much, Zoe. Let's start with cricket, and I think the writing was certainly on the wall yesterday. The Dolphins securing that four-day series trophy, beating the Titans convincingly by an innings and 76 runs on the final day of the match playing out in Durban. The Dolphins posted 295 in their first innings, which was in fact rain-affected, but that proved a tough target for the Titans to chase down. Pretoria's side were bowled out for 166 after being asked to bat again in their low-scoring first innings that only amounted to 53 runs. A brilliant bowling display from the spin pair of Pranellan Subryan, 10 for 80, and Senuran Mutasami, 9 for 91, leading the Dolphins to an emphatic victory and the title. Now another trophy on the line in netball. Another strong performance from Uganda secured them a 57-27 win over Namibia in the Tri-Nations Series currently taking place down in Cape Town. Uganda have now beaten Namibia on all three occasions that they played against them in the series. A result of the day saw the baby Proteas up against the President's 12, who edged past the young side by just 6 points. That final score there, 52-46. So today's fixtures see Namibia take on table-topping South Africa at 6 p.m. and in the earlier game at 4, there'll be a rematch between the baby Proteas and the President's 12. Then finally, still in the international footballing window, and it's all about qualification at the moment, Egypt securing a 4-0 win over the Comores in a match where Mohamed Salah bagged 2 goals to become the Pharaohs' all-time top goal scorer with 43 scalps now in 69 appearances. Elsewhere, Angola ran away with a 2-0 win over Gabon, who have already booked their AFCON tickets, while Burkina Faso, they clinched a 1-0 victory over Sudan, thanks to a goal from Bertrand Traore. And that's where we're going to leave our sport for this hour. We'll touch on those again on the top of the hour. Right now, though, let's connect with you guys at home and take a look at some of your beautiful sunrise pictures.
Well, we are starting our weather segment this morning by expressing our gratitude to you, our beautiful viewers, that take the time to share your sunrise photos with us. It is really great to see the various parts of our beautiful country through your eyes. And we're going to kick off our sunrise submissions with this stunning shot from one of our regular contributors, Nikki Besaidenout from Mossel Bay, who will actually be catching up with us on the show a little bit later. And then we also have Pat Anderson, who shared this photo showing some of the gorgeous colors spread across the sky. That's over the ocean in the Amanzimtoti area. And a partly sunny day is forecasted for you in Toti with a maximum of 26 degrees Celsius. Please do continue to share your sunrise photos with us on the Expresso Facebook page. We love to see how you start your part of the, well, in fact, how your part of the country looks at the start of your day. And we also continue to appreciate our local as well as the international viewers who tune in via YouTube and the Africa channel. So this morning we are highlighting the city of Zurich in Switzerland. Zurich is the largest city in Switzerland and situated in north-central Zurich at the northwestern tip of Lake Zurich. Now, many museums and art galleries can be found in the city, including the Swiss National Museum. It is also among the world's largest financial centers, despite having a relatively small population. The city is home to many financial institutions and banking companies, and if you're on Zurich today, you can expect a warm and pleasant day with plenty of sunshine, reaching a maximum of 23 degrees Celsius. Now, we've all seen those majestic storm clouds that form on a hot summer's day, but what is the temperature right at the very top? Well, it's cold, very cold in fact, well below freezing. But would you be surprised to learn it is sometimes even below minus 100 degrees Celsius? Well, scientists have just published research showing the top of one tropical storm cloud system in 2018, which reached minus 111 degrees Celsius. Very likely a record low temperature. It was spotted on 29 December that year, just south of the equator in the Western Pacific. The measurements was made by a passing American satellite. Long-term data suggests that these super cold thunderstorms may be increasing in frequency. There have been as many such events across the globe in the past 3 years as there were in the 13 years before that. And the colder the storm, the more likely it is to produce hazardous weather such as lightning and flooding. Well, that's a quick weather news update for you. Let's look at your temperatures. If you're in Polokwane, a partly cloudy day is ahead for you with a low of 13, a high of 26. Mbombela 15, reaching a high of 27. Pretoria 14, 26, Johannesburg 12 with a high of 24. It's partly cloudy in Mahikeng today with a high of 28, Klerksdorp 12 reaching a high of 29. Sunny in Kimberley 17 reaching a high of 30, Bloemfontein 9 reaching a high of 27. Richards Bay 19 reaching a high of 26, partly cloudy conditions in Pietermaritzburg 15 with a high of 26. Durban 20 with a high of 26, Mthatha 12 reaching a high of 30, partly cloudy in East London today with a high of 27, Cradock your low is 12 and your high 34. If you're in Gqeberha today, expect a low of 17, a high of 26, partly cloudy conditions in George with a high of 25. Cape Town 15 reaching a high of 22, Worcester sunny with a low of 10, a high of 32, Sutherland 9 reaching a high of 27, and partly cloudy conditions in Uppington today, a low of 20 with a high of 34 degrees Celsius. That's where we leave your weather for now. Another update coming your way shortly after 7.
Hopeful news alert. It's a cuteness storm headed our way. With Easter weekend just around the corner, it's time to get our little ones playtime ready in some unbelievably cute dresses, trousers, tees. We've got it all, and our fashion editor, Nox Mafu, is here to, I think, ooh and like me. And we're going to get into her favorites. Hashtag Woolies Easter outfits. Oh, the cuteness overload. Brace for it. It's going to be really, really sweet.
My favorite part of the studio right now, because I just know cuteness and good things are coming.
Well, Easter is coming as well, and
yes.
It's really reinforcing because obviously there's a religious significance to it in many religions as well, which is great. So there's this kind of wonderful sense of kind of reflection and people reconnecting with self. What's your favorite part of Easter?
I think I love the fact that we can come together as a family and that we really get to bond in ways that, you know, we can't just wait for Christmas. I think we've learned so much that coming together as as a family eating and enjoying food is really something much more than the religious undertones. It's just like about coming together.
Just being with the people.
Exactly. Feeding each other, creating fun games, like the Easter egg hunts for my little cousins are coming. So it's all going to be fun and really joyous.
It's a house full of laughter.
Yes.
Which we love, with kids laughing and playing, which means the kids need to be playtime ready.
Yes.
So I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit now, because last time you showed us just a complete range of amazing kids' teas. The graphics were beautiful. The colors are amazing. The cute additions of little tutu elements, just like cuteness for days. Two favorites. What are your go-tos, do you think?
I think it's really tough because like there's so much going on, but right now I'm really enjoying the graphic Easter bunny tops that we have and the dresses. But I feel like if I just show you, it's not enough.
It isn't.
It's not enough. I've got models to show you what I love at the moment. So my first model is here, who is, I've given her two of my favorite items, right? So we've got this beautiful bunny t-shirt, which is really comfortable and warm. The materials are made of, you know, ethically sourced cottons, and I love the pink and really the playful kind of 3D design that we have on the top.
And the little bit of sparkle.
Exactly.
It's a bit of zhuzh, but you're still playtime ready.
Exactly.
I love that.
And then we've paired that with fleece leggings, which have got a beautiful butterfly print on them.
Cute,
But this is also really nice. Yeah, something that's comfortable. She can play and she can jump, but she's warm and secure, which is super important. And then we've paired them with some really comfy shoes where she can get comfy to play and also be able to just be on the move and have a grip on the floor, which is so important because I know
she's going to be playing with the boys.
exactly.
She's
Just to show them what she's about.
She's
So
do it, man.
this is a really, really active outfit
That's
that
cute,
I love.
and I think every item there she'll be proud and happy to put on as well, which is beautiful.
And then my second outfit over here is this beautiful dress that we have here. This is a great play between polka dot and the bunnies, so a little bit of trend coming in there. I love the blue hue that she has over here. I feel like we matched unintentionally. But we've paired that with some cute little boots, which have got a nice fur detail here. But I think this is also great for when they're just about to eat and you've just... Exactly. She's come from maybe a church service or wherever you go as a family, and then of course she's comfortable, she's warm, and definitely dressed to impress.
Yeah, you can dress it up and you can still get down and have a little bit of fun. Our models are amazing. Thank you, girls. Superstars.
So now,
absolute
I mean, it's
superstars.
even a tough time choosing right here because they are so good looking and they both serve such beautiful elements to a kid's fashion.
It's a difficult one. It's impossible for me, so I'm going to put it to you guys at home. In fact, we want you to help us choose which Easter outfit is your favorite. Head over to the Expresso Facebook page, vote for your favorite #Woolies Easter outfit, and we'll reveal those results a little bit later. Yeah, it's a party, man. Get down.
Yes.
Oh, too sweet, man. Sweet.
Love it.
Make my day.
Welcome back to it, your feel-good breakfast show. It's Expresso. We're live here on SABC 3. It's a Tuesday.
Yes.
And someone who always chooses to be bubbly at any given point is Zoe. And we know that her bubbly personality lights up the studio and your TV screen. And she always looks fresh. There's something about Zoe, always looking fresh.
Every single morning, Tubbs.
Sparkly, so fresh.
But now, obviously, you're wondering what her secret is and what a morning routine is to that feel-good day. So we popped by to find out exactly why. Let's check it out.
Hello and welcome to my home. Come inside. I wanted to show you what my morning routine looks like the mornings that I'm not on the show. I started off with a nice leg workout, and of course I have my workout buddy Navy with me, and we're going to do a leg workout where I use dumbbells, and I also love to incorporate a kettlebell, really just to add that extra oomph to my workout. Breakfast is probably my favorite meal of the day, and I love to play around. So at the moment, I just decided to make myself some bran, added some almonds and fresh banana, and topped it off with some fat-free milk. But the hero of every morning routine is, of course, my cup of Nespresso. And I decided to go for the World Explorations Stockholm Fortissimo Lungo. It is amazing. It really just creates a lovely Swedish coffee, and it has a hint of bitterness, and that is my favorite way to enjoy my morning coffee. Now the day can begin. One thing I'll take from lockdown is how important it is to really just focus on my own health and take time for myself. Exercising was my saving grace during those couple of months where work was quiet, I was isolated from my family, and I found that doing a simple workout is what really transformed my life. And for me, it was just a slow journey, and the journey means you need to continuously work at it. There's no such thing as a quick fix when it comes to your health, because that for me is so important to my well-being, not just for my physical health, but my mental health as well. Now it's time for me to get the day going. I've got radio in a short bit and a whole bunch of meetings. And one thing I'm working really hard on this year is to save money where I can. And one way to do that is to make my own coffee before I leave home. What's great is I've got the Nespresso travel mug. And since I started my morning off with the Stockholm Fortissimo Lungo, I thought, oh, I'm missing traveling so much, I might as well have a little bit of Buenos Aires with me. There we go. Thank you so much for stopping by. And even though every morning is very different for me, whether I wake up at 3:30 in the morning or 7 o'clock, the one thing that's always a constant is my Nespresso on the go.
Your mornings are easy. You ease
Your
into
mornings
it.
remind me
so
of like
nicely.
a magazine, like just an advert.
You're just paging through, right?
A morning workout and then followed by a walk. You have to take advantage of the beautiful Cape Town.
Yeah, you do. And well, you certainly do a good job of taking advantage of it, and you look great too. You're such the perfect addition to the landscape of Cape Town. Oh, I love it. But of course, nothing better than a really good cup of coffee, as we have seen, to really charge you up and step you into the day. The Nespresso way. What else?
There we go.
With every cup, we cultivate some of the finest coffee in the world, celebrating farmers as artists, elevating every coffee moment. Because with every cup, precious coffee preserves the beauty of our world. Nespresso. What else?
All right, so it looks like the results are in. We asked you guys to weigh in on our hashtag Woolies Easter poll this morning. A morning routine obviously can set the tone for the day, and the same goes for our kids as well. And especially over Easter, we want them to embrace those days. So a little bit earlier, Knox shared two unbelievably cute hashtag Woolly Easter looks with us, and we of course asked you guys to vote for your favorite. So let's take a look at some of the comments that have come through from you guys. Joan saying pants and those beautiful shoes, really awesome. I love them as well. Edlin saying, Woolies Easter, she would love the bunny spot dress, hands down. Love the bunny bot dress. Kim Prince saying the bunny spot print dress. I'm guessing we might have a winner here. Let's take a look at the results. I love the ballerina t-shirt. Oh, fighting its way back in. Amanda Lee Panty saying ballerina print t-shirt. Love the spotted dress, the bunny spot dress. My girl just loves her Woolies dresses. I think we're going to have to award it to our spot dress. Was beautiful. Get back in here, you gorgeous young thing. Well done. But I think they were, it was almost a tie. I think because they kind of suit different modes, if you will. And this is, as you said, great for church, great for a family occasion if you've got to kind of dress it up a little bit, but you're still comfortable enough to have fun.
And I think the warmth is really great. And I think a reason why, you know, everyone at home loves it is because it's playful, but also functional. So mom doesn't have to worry about having two dresses for just after church and playing with the kids. She can do both in this dress.
Man, too sweet, man. Well done, love. You did a fantastic job. You're an amazing model, and the dress looks gorgeous. Well done. So thanks, you guys are legends. Well done. And of course, the winning doesn't stop there. Yesterday, we gave one lucky viewer the chance to win a 1,000 Rand Woolworths gift card by telling us which of the Woolies fantastical range, and there's an amazing range of fantastical eggs that you'd like to try, and the winner has been selected. Drum roll, please. Congratulations, Natasha Nsenga. Well done. 1,000 Rand on its way to you. Natasha said, I'd like to try the multicolored egg with milk chocolates with the great quality Woolies has. I know it will taste magical. Hashtag Woolies Easter. Well, with your voucher, we hope that you add that delicious treat to your shopping basket. You're going to be able to get quite a lot with that, and you really will enjoy it. It's absolutely delicious. I have tried. Remember, you, of course, stand the chance of winning that 1,000 Rand Woolies voucher, that gift card. Just like Natasha, you've got to reply to the competition post on our Facebook, our Twitter, or our Instagram pages with the hashtag Woolies Easter and tell us which Easter outfit would you get for your little one. And that competition closes at 9 this morning, so get on it right now. And the T's and C's can be found on expressoshow.com.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Our next guest goes by the nickname The General, because that's what he was. He is a former South African professional footballer and is regarded as undoubtedly one of the greatest ever PSL players of the modern era today.
You guessed it right, it's former Bafana star and well-known sports commentator and all-round awesome guy, Teko Modise is on the line. Now, being in the spotlight not only means, of course, showing off your talents, but your overall look as well, and something Teko knows only too well. And today we're going to chat a little bit about his career, his passions, and of course his self-care, what that means to him. But first, we're just going to catch up, because having a legend like this on the line, oh man, it's an opportunity that I'm going to jump at. Teko, how are you, my friend? How's it going, brother?
Good, thanks. And you?
I'm good. It's been a minute. Do you miss it? How do you feel now that you've taken this next phase in your career, man?
To be honest with you, I don't miss being on the pitch, merely because I think my body is tired.
Yeah.
I think I've ran my race. But honestly, also, I enjoy watching the games now. I enjoy watching other guys as well coming up. I'm also interested in seeing who's going to win the league and who's have signed quality players to beef up their squad. So there's a lot of things that interest me about the game itself. But me seeing myself back on the pitch, it's not something that I actually think about at all.
When do you kind of feel like the footballing fraternity in South Africa realized that you had arrived and you'd kind of made your mark?
I think the biggest break that I got was when I joined SuperSport. I think that's when actually people started realizing, because that's when I joined the national team as well, while I was still at SuperSport. Going to Orlando Pirates after that, it was just a cherry on top, when now not only you just recognized by football fraternity, but also you're recognized by the fans all over the country, because we know how Pirates supporters are.
Yeah.
And I think that's when people started realizing and paying attention to my talents. Yeah.
How difficult was it then moving across to Sundowns? How crazy was making that transition?
Look, to be honest with you, that transition was not easy. It's something that I never thought would happen. And when the fans realized that I am moving to Sundowns, they started being very upset with me. Everywhere I'll go, I'll be labeled as a traitor and all that type of stuff. But for me, it was just to get back on track and revive my career. And it wasn't easy also joining Mamelodi Sundowns, because it had all the superstars. So I had to come back again and start afresh and reintroduce myself again to the game. And I remember that at the time I haven't won anything with the team, and I was labeled as a guy that would never win anything with the team. So for me, getting into Mamelodi Sundowns and try and do the best that I can, and most importantly, to try and win something with the team, that was very important to me. So it wasn't an easy challenge, but I enjoyed it so much, because after that, I started winning trophies and I started enjoying my game again.
Are there things that you regret in that sense? Would you have liked to have given it more of a go, been given the opportunity? Is that an itch that you'd still like to scratch?
Sometimes I think about it. I think that's the only thing in my career that I think was, something that didn't sit well with me, knowing that we work so hard as youngsters. We all have our dreams and we want to achieve them. And for me, my dream wasn't far from me, and I had an opportunity to achieve that. And once that was denied, I had to come back again and restart again. And it wasn't easy, because it played so much in my mind. I think I was depressed for like 2 years or so. So for me to come back, especially getting an opportunity to Mamelodi Sundowns to help me up, help me restart my career, it was a big of a challenge. But for me, I've enjoyed my career. And I think the only thing that's maybe like an itch, like you said, it's that part only. Other than that, I've enjoyed my career.
No regrets, man, and you really shouldn't have any regrets. As a commentator, How much do you enjoy now being able to sink your teeth into that side of the game?
It's very challenging, and it's very interesting as well to see that I do have opportunities to actually give back to the game, but differently. Where I did the AFCON, and doing AFCON is very difficult, because now you need to realize and you need to do your research and know all this type of players. And after that, I think they enjoyed my analysis, and they started talking about it. And I was still playing at the time. And I told them, guys, if I do retire, maybe it's something that I'll think about. And they didn't wait for me to retire, actually. They started offering me contracts even when I was still playing. And I started enjoying it, because now I started watching games differently. Now, I enjoyed analyzing the players. I enjoy also getting the inside of the game as well. I think for me, I'm still learning about the game as much as people want me to go and coach. But I think maybe this is my learning curve to try and understand the game more better now, not just as a footballer, but also as a former footballer.
We're going to continue our chat with Teko in just a moment. Stick around. We're going to get into how he looks after himself, because unfortunately, coming with this territory means you're in the public eye and you have to look good all the time. But an absolute pleasure catching up with the General.
Oh, thank you, Graham. And you know what? Before we kick off our Teko Modise-inspired workout, I need to get my gear ready. So that's why we have fashion editor Knox Mafu here to take us through activewear, and you know, that really just makes fun winter workouts so much more better. Just to really have some fun with it.
Yes.
Now, what are some of the newness that we can expect from the Woolies active range?
So, I mean, we've loved the active range. I think everyone probably across Mzansi is trying to clamor their way to getting them. But I'm loving the new range because what they're focusing on is animal print. So you're seeing the return of like a soft graphic, really like fun and like really, you know, vibrant prints that we're seeing, which is super exciting. So I love the fact that you can also just like look fashionable, because trends do say that animal prints, your zebra prints are all the trend at the moment. So to see that kind of infiltrate in your activewear is really great, but they still have the classic items, you know, so the stretch, being able to wear that and it's comfortable to go from the sofa to the streets and to do so with such ease. So that's what's happening at the moment.
I love this. And you know what I love about the different pieces that I'm seeing in Woolworths is you can, to a certain extent, mix and match them. There's nothing about you have to be matchy-matchy all the time. Matchy-matchy is super cute.
Yeah, and it has its time, absolutely.
Yes. But and it looks amazing, but if you really want to stretch your workout wear, you can really mix and match. So
100%.
So I've got to work out with Raul a little bit later.
Okay.
How are we going to put this look together?
So, I mean, I'm tempted to do a full-on graphic, but like you're saying, let's actually use this thing and the ability to mix and match. So I think that if we pair this black one over here and that top over there, I think that'll be a great look for your workout.
That will work amazing. Yeah. I love it. And I mean, also just looking at this print, this is quite a nice top. I have one of them. I have it in green, but basically what I wanted to say is it's got a nice elastic here that really just, when you do your workouts, it doesn't rise, doesn't expose if you do wear your sports bra underneath.
Exactly.
I prefer to wear it as is. It doesn't need additional support, but for ladies that are a little bit more bustier, they would prefer a bit more support.
There's enough room in there, which I think is super important. And the cami leggings are also just so great. A good fit on the body. They don't stretch out. So I think your workout will be great.
Okay. Well, thank you, Knox. All I'm going to say is I'm going to go get ready for my fitness segment. And if you are loving all of the pieces you're seeing here, they are available. You can check them out at Woolworths. You can shop safely in-store, online, or on the Woolies app. Let me go get into this.
So cool.
Perfect.
Oh, you can make my day.
continuing our discussion with a national treasure, that is Tiko Modise, an unbelievable player, but also a servant of the game of football and South African football, someone who has served us on every level, including the national, a star for Bafana Bafana, and of course a guy who's enjoyed a lot of time in the public eye. Tiko, thank you so much for sticking around, my friend. I've loved catching up with you, and as I said to you earlier in the show, I really do miss watching you play, but I've got to ask, because you were one of those players that people loved to see, loved to focus on. Newspapers, magazines, everyone loved to follow what you were doing. Did you find that pressurizing? How did you cope with the fame of football? Because you were one of the first in South Africa, let's be honest, to become a real bona fide celebrity in the game of football. Was that difficult, or did you love it, looking as good as you do?
You know, I think because in football also, you never get taught how to handle fame. And I think it's one of the biggest drug actually that disturbs or that distracts so many footballers' careers in the country. And that also comes with so much responsibility. And for me, as I couldn't live my life because I was under so much spotlight. So anything that I did, if I coughed, everybody know that I coughed. So for me, I had to move differently. And that changes your personality as well. I think a lot of my personality changed. And I started losing myself because I started living for other people and not for myself. And I've always wanted to be in the conversation of the legends when I've retired. And I benchmarked that with Dr. Khumalo because I think he's one of the biggest brands in the country. When he's retired, this is a guy that's retired more than 30 years ago, but everybody still knows his name.
And in a time when not a lot of players were getting that right, but of course now you get to be that voice within the industry and still have that influence on other younger players that are coming through the ranks.
Yeah.
Now you have an opportunity to think about you, what you want to do, no pressure. You can take this in any direction you choose. The commentating is awesome. We love that phase of your career. And I think you're going to be doing that hopefully for many, many years to come. You mentioned coaching as a possibility in the future. Is that something that you'd really like to do? And how do you see yourself working into that? Have you set yourself a goal, 3 years, 2 years, 5 years, next year? What's the goal there?
The goal is for me to be the student right now, to learn as much as I can. For me, I don't want to coach just for the sake of coaching. I want to have the passion for it, and I'm still building that passion. And I want to do the right things. You know, I want to be in a good team. I want to be, because being a good coach, it all depends on the good players that you're coaching. So I want to be in a position where I'm coaching good players so that they can make me better. And for me, just now, I just want to learn and learn and learn. And whenever that opportunity comes, and hopefully I'll be ready, and I'll take it.
With your BMT, buddy, I know you'll be ready. I'm just dying for you to pop up at a team that you've played for. That'd be great. But I don't want to put additional pressure on you. And we've seen how awesome it is right now for former players, for a player's coach in the modern era of football. So look forward to seeing that. So I've got to ask, because you're unbelievably well-groomed, you've always looked good. When you talk about that personal brand, a big part of that has been how you've taken care of yourself. Why do you think that it's so important to be well-groomed, to look after your self-care, if you will?
In the industry we're in, it's important what you say and how you say it. And you also want to be in a position where whatever that you say, you look presentable so that you can be believable as much as you can, because we're in the limelight, we're always on TV. You want to look good. For me, always looking good and feeling good has always been part of my personality, even when I was still playing, and continue with that even off the pitch. And that's how I take grooming very, very seriously, because it's part of who I am.
I love that, Ben, and it can make a massive difference how you're feeling. Maybe a bit of a superstition creeping in before a game, but it can make a massive difference to your mentality and how you're feeling. So let's talk to the young footballer on the up and up. Maybe you can give two of your top tips or tricks to always looking well-groomed. How does the general do it?
Look, I think there's one thing that footballers normally don't pay attention to, especially in terms of our skin. For me, I always take care of my skin. I always I make sure that, every morning and every night before I go to bed, I make sure that I cleanse my skin, I moisturize it. I make sure that, I shave. I make sure that also, I use the right tools to do that. Luckily now, I'm an ambassador of the new razor blade Flex 2. And with that as well, I use the shaving cream. Make sure that my skin doesn't get irritation, because I don't want to be having pimples on TV, and that'll disturb how I feel. So I use good products, and for me is the tips are make sure that your skin is moisturized enough, and for you to be able to apply that whenever you actually use the razor, make sure that you use that direction where your hair is growing. And what's important is after you've done that, apply the moisturizer again so that your skin becomes softer and then it doesn't get any irritation. And also drink a lot of water. And that's what I do. I think it's good for your skin as well.
The problem is then it keeps you looking so young that everyone thinks that you should still be playing, dude. You should still be playing, man. I think they are lucky to have you in their corner, my friend. I know they really appreciate you, and we really appreciate you for everything you have done and are still doing for the game of football. I cannot wait to interview you again when you get that first coaching job, but keep enjoying the work that you're doing so well at the moment. What a pleasure and an honor catching up with you, my friend. You are a legend.
Nah, thank you very much. It's always a pleasure to talk to you, man.
There you have it from the legend himself. Establishing a men's grooming routine might feel a little bit daunting, but maintaining a well-kept appearance and taking time out for self-care is worth the effort. And with Big Flex 2, you simply cannot go wrong.
2 flexible blades for a smoother shave. Open blade architecture for an easy rinse. Choose Big Flex 2 for a closer, smoother shave.
So much, Gina. What an incredible catch-up with the man, the myth, the legend, the man who is Teko Modise, and now he's out, and he is our inspiration for this morning's workout. And soccer players, all alike, all train in a very specific manner to get their bodies ready to obviously be match ready, of course, on that big match day. Now, they do interval training and lower body lifting, and this morning I'm going to be showing you a few ways to train like a professional soccer player. And all you got to do is grab a soccer ball and let's start sculpting our bodies like an athlete. And joining me this morning is the beautiful Zoe.
I am here and I'm in my active wear for
I see you looking good. You're looking the part at least. So let's see if we can step up and actually act the part. So,
and you know what I love about a workout? The minute you introduce a ball or anything like a skipping rope, it just makes your workout a little bit more playful.
Playful. I like the pun there.
Yes.
It's functional, of course. And of course, we are going to have a lot of fun with this too. Now, one of the things that I've noticed, especially with soccer players, is a lot of injuries. And this is something that we're going to prevent from doing this workout as well. So it's a prehab in a sense that it's going to strengthen all those vulnerable areas that you do get as a soccer player. And we're going to work our way all the way from the bottom up to the top.
Okay,
so starting at the bottom, we're going to warm up, and we're going to warm the ankles up first. So it's nice and simple. Standing where you are, and you're literally just going to roll your ankle to the outside. And for the sake of purpose right now, we unfortunately don't have all the time in the world, but I would recommend you doing this for at least 45 seconds before moving over to the other ankle as well. But we're going to rush to this one because I want to get into the good stuff.
Okay.
So we've warmed up the ankles. Now we're going to warm up the body, get a little bit of that blood pumping before we get into the exercises. So we're going to use the ball and get creative with a nice skill technique. And it's almost like running on the spot, but we need hand-eye coordination as well.
Okay.
So we're going to pretend to just tap our foot on top of the ball. And as you can see, I'm just simply tapping it like this as I'm doing a march, basically almost like a step up, but we're going to start increasing the pace here. So we're going to try to get off our heels and turn it into a run. And that's where it starts to get technical. And look at Zoe Brown going there. Too
Here
easy.
we go, and then I'm losing the
Teko
ball.
Modise would be proud. All right, so once you've done the warm-up again, guys, 45 seconds, and then you earned yourself a 15-second break, and then we can work our way into these exercises, all right? So we've worked the lower part of our body already. Now we're going to start moving our way up to the hamstrings and the glutes, another area which often gets hurt, damaged, and obviously injured during exercise. So getting creative with the ball, we're going to have our left hand touching the ball. This is going to keep our depth and keep the glutes activated. Taking your left foot, bringing it all the way to the outside, a nice curtsy lunge. You've got that glute stimulation and a good stretch of the hamstring. And then simply jumping up, crossing over to the other side. And now you can get a nice flow into this as well. So as we go from right to left, you can see a nice flow emerging with this. You are going to feel your glutes start to burn slightly. And I'm sure you're going to need to incorporate some balance too. How's it going on your side?
I was a little unstable, but I think if you just activate your core core as well. You'll get a little bit more stability.
And it's fun too. Check out, we look like we're dancing as well. We're in sync. We could put some music on.
This is a new form of ballroom dancing.
Because I can't do the real kind, so I've made my own one up. Obviously, guys, once you're done with this, that's 45 seconds on. Moving over to the next exercise, and this one's really great. And we're talking about adductors now. And those are the muscles which basically assist you, like your groin, and especially when the soccer players are sliding, going in for those crazy tackles, these are muscles that often get injured too. So we're going to work the glute, the hamstring, but again, target those adductors as well. And we're using the ball to do that again, getting creative. First step, squeezing the ball together with your legs. That is where you're going to get that stimulation of the psoas, the adductors as well, and various parts of your groin, which is so important for a soccer player. Now, while we got that stimulated, constantly squeezing the ball, we're going to now try and lift our glutes up into the air, creating a nice glute bridge. Get your back off the ground, neutral spine, big squeeze, and then coming all the way straight back down. Now, this is the first level of this exercise. If you're feeling like this is a little bit too easy for you, you're more than welcome to step this up. How you do that? We lift one of our legs up into the air, still squeezing the ball, but now we're putting more emphasis on each glute individually. And now you're going to drive up here. You will feel the burn in that glute. That's that region just below the lower back, of course, and you're going to feel a good stimulation. And you can see the pace that Zoe and I are doing this at as well. Nice and slow, good control, and a nice eccentric load to top it off with as well. Beautiful part about this workout is there's so much you can do with the soccer ball. You can get so creative. You can pump it up, you can make it flat, but you can get more skillful. And I never do a workout without stimulating that core.
Okay.
So to finish things off, and you guys at home as well can join me, 45 seconds of some leg raises, but once again, squeezing the ball together, and this time you're going to feel even more stimulation required from those adductors as well. It's an absolute burner, Zoe. I don't know how you're feeling on your side.
It is a burner, but this is a good workout. Such a fun way to just change up your workout.
Yeah, and that will complete your first round. You can go for 3 to 4 rounds in total, and that's how you become the Teko Modise superstar soccer player that we just had the blessing of chatting to, and of you, of course, you Mzansi too. I hope you have any sort of creativity. Let us know if you have some cool exercises you can do with the soccer ball too. We'd love to know. Round 2, you ready?
Yes.
That's it. Hit that core.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to it, your feel-good breakfast show, Expresso, just in time for some kitchen inspiration. Now we know that the Easter bunny has been hopping around everywhere. I mean, have you spotted the bunny over here, over there, everywhere, getting us very excited for those Easter treats. And there are so many of them. And the lovely Abigail Donnelly is here to show us how to make a fun Easter pull-up bunny cake. Got your attention yet? Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Now, this is definitely a recipe to get the kids involved with as well. Abby, good morning.
Morning.
Oh, so good to see you. And you didn't have to say anything else. I just saw cake and I knew I had to be here with you.
Exactly. And I'm so glad you are, because the smell of all this chocolate happening here is just like really exciting for Easter coming up soon.
Absolutely. So Yes, indeed. So let's get right into it. Let's get down to business. What's happening?
Okay, so in the beginning of the year, this whole trend on TikTok and all over the place was a tsunami cake, a flood cake, a lava cake. I call it a pull-up, kind of pick-me-up cake.
Yeah.
And a waterfall cake.
Stunning. Well, any
And
cake
all
for me will pull
is
me up.
about this oozing, glorious cascade of whatever you ice your cake with. So I've made it easy for Easter, and this is my real go-by.
The chocolate
Go-to
mix.
trick, which is the Woolies chocolate cake. And all you need to do is add eggs, oil, free-range eggs, of course, oil, water, mix it up. You don't even need a beater.
Wait, are you, so this is pre-mixed, and all I need are just those ingredients you're listing and mentioning right now.
So,
wow.
Yeah, so in the box, all you need is your sunflower oil. Sometimes, you know what, I even use olive oil if I want to be a little bit fancy. Like on Saturday night, I made this. I didn't even ice it. I had beautiful Woolworths vanilla ice cream, which I think is just the best.
Of course.
And some poached plums. And I served the cake warm, and it was like this. It was so divine.
You see, this is when you don't say stuff like that in past tense. This is where you would have had to invite me, Abigail, for that magic. Come on. But I'm glad you're here now, and we've got this going on here. In fact, if you want the recipe, we've made this really, really easy for you. The people at Woolworths have worked very hard. They've put this website together, and they've put the recipe on the website. It's taste.co.za.
Absolutely.
So now you're just mixing it all up?
So yeah, you don't even need to overbeat it, because you want it nice and airy. I mean, if you've got your Kenwood or whatever beater you've got out there, that's also fine. But as you can see, it just comes together really beautifully.
Very quickly as
and
well.
And you don't have to use, you know, they've got a beautiful coconut one, a vanilla one, even that beautiful trend of the rainbow, different layers.
Oh, that's my favorite.
Everything, yeah. I mean, they've got scones, flapjacks,
I love that it's so playful and interactive, and that's why I said earlier on that you could really get the kids involved, get the entire family involved. Wake up nice and early in the morning and just get everybody rallying around the kitchen. That one grabbing the eggs, that one, I mean, it's not a lot of work that needs to be done, because, I mean,
exactly. And you can do it the day before as well, hey? Remember,
the day before, so you don't have to serve it hot like Abigail on Saturday.
Yes.
It can be cool as well.
Exactly.
Perfect.
And my trick is, if you're going to make it the day before, wrap each layer in cling wrap. So that it just stays the nice gooey texture that it should be.
Which you want.
Because you can see, look how beautiful and gooey.
Yes,
it's actually just borderline brown.
Yes,
exactly.
I love that.
So yeah, so for this I've made 4 layers. So I used 2 box cakes. A little bit extravagant because it is Easter.
There's a lot of us here as well.
So then you just pour it in and you just thin layers. Usually it takes about 50 minutes for one big thick cake.
Yeah.
But if you're doing the layers, then you just look at it, probably about 30 minutes per layer. So those are the
turning
tips.
all of us into bakers. Honestly, Woolworths, thank you so much for this. This is grace. This is stunning. I love it.
So all your trick is just to ooh and ah all your guests is the tsunami pull-up pot.
Okay.
So what I've done is a little bit of ganache. So I've overboiled the milk, but not. So you bring it up to a boil, like they call it in the old-fashioned kind of baking, scalding. So
you're scalding the milk.
You scald the milk,
Okay, cool.
And then this is how my trick of how to make a ganache. Because a lot of people think that a ganache is hard to make and it kind of separates, has separated with me as well. But you just add some more cream and then it all comes together.
Is that the trick?
That's the trick, yes.
Wow.
Yeah. And then instead of putting the chocolate into the cream, then you pour the milk over
the chocolate, because then it has to melt it.
And the finer the better. Yes,
Okay.
it has to melt.
Yes.
And quite nice and quickly too. So the finer the chocolate, the better.
You would grate it, I'm guessing.
Well, nice
Or just
chopping.
beat it.
Nice chopping.
Yeah, nice chopping.
Nice, yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
All right, I see.
There we go. And that was just pouring cream, and then you just kind of let it all come together.
The beauty of chocolate, I don't think there's anything better. Guys, hey, I mean, are you seeing all of this that's happening here? There is nothing better than chocolate.
And then also, you know, all the Woolies bunnies and the Easter eggs, the chocolate is, the cocoa is all responsibly sourced, which is good for the farmers.
We love that,
and obviously the environment too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sustainability is the key word.
Yeah.
That's the theme for the season.
Exactly. And you know what I love? If you don't have cream on hand in the fridge over Easter, use the box cream, the long life box cream, because it just gives the ganache, I find, a beautiful fudgy, like a bar one fudgy sauce.
You know what I love about you is the tips and the tricks are always ever flowing and never out of those. I love that because I'm always thinking, oh, what would be the substitute to this? But you always have ideas. I love that.
Yeah, you've always just got to have a little bit of extra. Yeah.
Well, so Taste Magazine clearly have also gone, I mean, absolutely wild on there with what you're doing there.
This issue, I don't know. I love every issue of Taste, but I'm really, really passionate and in love with this issue.
Yeah, the Easter goals.
Yeah, we really, I don't know, we always work hard, but it was just, there's a chocolate story by Hannah. There's Kanya's beautiful Easter lunch, my Easter lunch. There's just such beautiful, accessible, and we've had some great feedback. And of course, the cover.
And it look, I mean, that cover, you want to eat the magazine itself. So go get that Taste Magazine.
So I've made you a crown. This is the
What's it for? Yeah.
So this is the magic. Obviously, I've iced in between and I've used Nutella.
Yes.
Instant icing, fabulous, but Woolworths does in their baking range have a chocolate icing, which you just add butter and mix up. So this is acetate. You can get it at any baking shop. And this is what holds it all together. So let's fit it over. So once this is all nice and iced and cooled, it's perfect. You just tape it up, the acetate. And this is something that you can keep, you know, wash and keep, whatever.
Yes.
If you want, you could actually use a bit of cardboard lined with greaseproof paper.
Okay.
So the chocolate doesn't stick to the cardboard. If you don't fancy it or haven't got time to go to the baking shop. Okay, so we've got our culinary experts behind the scene have made us beautiful chocolate ganache.
I mean, they're like bunnies. They are ever busy.
And talking about your bunny.
Kelly and Aniba and...
There's your bunny on top.
Oh,
how cute.
That is the cutest thing I have seen this morning.
And you can put little baby bunnies, because look, Woolworths have done it all for you, little baby bunnies.
You don't have to carve them yourself. But if you can, do it. No one's stopping you. But
and this is fantastic to take to the table, because people will just go, oh my gosh, and you're just going to see this avalanche.
You did say earlier, if you want to ooh and ah your guests, and right now, all I want to say is ooh, ah, chocolate cake. Well, this is fantastic. Thank you so much, Abigail, for this. You've been absolutely inspirational. The website, once again, is taste.co.za if you want to get your hands on the tips and the tricks that Abigail has brought along. And, of course, all of that inspiration that has come through from the Taste magazine. I'll just take this, because I can see you're struggling with it.
I did struggle a little bit.
I'll manage it. I'll manage this.
Go.
I'm not going to say
you know what I forgot to do?
What?
Usually I add some peppermint crisp or whatever, or beautiful honeycomb chocolate from Woolworths crushed up.
Yeah.
I would have added some more, but it would have been like a big mess. But then I would have added, because I was talking too much, these beautiful chocolate gooey meringues. I mean, look at that. Look at that. Just like what a perfect...
Please say it with me. Ooh.
Ooh.
Wow. Love it.
And there we go. Let's just add some crunch and some snow for the Easter bunny. Whoops.
That is stunning. That is absolutely stunning. And there you go. Easter cake is served. Love to see it. Abigail, love your work. This is fantastic. And I can see Graham's even drawing closer. It's going to be a big party in the studio today. Maybe make the cake, take a picture, and show us how yours has come out. You are going to love it. And it's going to ooh and ah, everybody. Thank you, Abby. Love this.
Thank you.
Put it here.
Thank you. Happy
Easter. Happy Easter.
Well, it's a minute after 7. Let's quickly look at your national headlines. President Cyril Ramaphosa is reported to be meeting with provincial premiers today, with a decision on restrictions during the Easter festivities expected to be finalized either today or tomorrow. A possible stricter curfew is on the cards, and in his letter to the nation yesterday, the president said while every effort must be made to support the rights to religious freedom, this should not place the rights or the lives of others at risk. Today's deliberations come ahead of an anticipated third wave of infections. And staying with local news, President Cyril Ramaphosa says the Aspen manufacturer facility in Gqeberha in the Eastern Cape will produce 30 million vaccine doses for SA in April alone. The rollout is set to start in the same month. Ramaphosa yesterday visited the facility and said it had the capacity to produce up to 300 million doses of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine annually. Ramaphosa added that Aspen had invested more than 300 billion rand in the facility. The Aspen Group CEO, Stephen Saad, said his committed team worked 18-hour days to ensure that SA received batches. And moving to news abroad, traffic has resumed in the Suez Canal after a stranded container ship blocked it for nearly a week was finally freed by salvage crews. The 400-meter-long Ever Given was dislodged yesterday with the help of dredgers. Some 340 vessels are waiting to sail through the canal on the shortest trade route between Europe and Asia. It's reported that some 30,000 cubic meters of sand had to be removed, after which at least 13 tugs were used to turn the 224,000-ton vessel so that it no longer blocked the canal. And staying with news abroad, thousands of Palma residents in Mozambique's northern Cabo Delgado province have fled the town to the port city of Pemba. This follows after ISIS attacked the town with its giant gas plant last week. Dozens of people, including a South African, were killed in the attack. ISIS has meanwhile claimed responsibility for the attack, saying it has taken control of the town after days of fighting with Mozambican forces. And next, how a town went dark for 45 days for the sake of a bird and her wee ones. Now, when man and nature attempts to coexist, man usually wins out. However, that wasn't the case in a small town in the south of India when an Indian robin recently chose to build her nest in the village of Potakudi's main lighting switchboard. The nest and inhabitants were first discovered by Karupu Raja, a lifelong bird lover. Raja turned to social media to ask his fellow citizens to adapt a hands-off approach to the unexpected temporary guest. Raja said turning off the lights was the only solution because the robin would fly out if it realized there was contact near its nest. So rather than oust the feathered brood, the residents agreed to observe a blackout until the nestlings were old enough to fly off. The town spent a total of 45 days and nights in the dark. The village's extraordinary conservation efforts for the sake of one lone avian and her babies didn't go unnoticed. A bird in the hand may be worth two in the bush, but a bird in the switchboard earned Putukudi a reputation for its kindness that's likely to light up smiles for quite some time to come. Well, on that light note, that's where we leave your morning headlines. Here is another look at your sport.
Thanks so much, Zoe. Let's start with cricket, and I think the writing was on the wall yesterday. The Dolphins secured that 4-day series trophy, beating the Titans convincingly by an innings and 76 runs on the final day of their match down in Durban. The Dolphins posting 295 in their first innings, which ultimately proved too tough a target for the Titans to chase. The Pretoria side were bowled out for 166 after being asked to bat again in their low-scoring first innings, which only amounted to a record low, in fact, of 53 runs. And it was a brilliant bowling display from the spin pair of Pranellan Subrayan, 10 for 80, and Sinuran Mudasamy, 9 for 91, that led the Dolphins to that emphatic victory and the domestic trophy. Now on to netball. Another strong performance from Uganda secured a 57-27 win over Namibia. That was in their Tri-Nations series currently taking place down in the mother city. Uganda have now beaten Namibia on all 3 occasions that they've played against them in the series. The other result of the day saw the baby Proteas up against the President's 12, who just edged past the young side by 6 points. That final score there, 52-46. So today's fixtures see Namibia taking on the table-topping South Africa, who are going unbeaten at this stage, and that's at 6 p.m. Then the earlier encounter at 4 p.m. is another rematch between the baby Proteas and the President's 12. Well, we're still enjoying the international footballing window at the moment, and it's all about qualification. Egypt securing a 4-0 win over the Comores in a match which Mohamed Salah bagged 2 goals to become the Pharaohs' all-time second top goal scorer with 43 goals now in 69 appearances. Elsewhere, Angola ran away with a 2-0 win over Gabon. They've already booked their AFCON tickets, while Burkina Faso clinched a 1-0 win over the Sudan, thanks to a goal from Bertrand Traore. That's where we leave our sporting results and headlines for now. Let's get another look at some of your beautiful sunrise pictures and set the tone for a chat with one of our sunrise contributors.
Thank you, Graham. And before we get to that chat, we want to take a look at the beautiful sunrise photos that you've been sharing with us this morning. Now, our viewers are really upping their photography game and competition is really tight. Jim Gibson from Jeffreys Bay shared this absolutely gorgeous view over the ocean, showing off a multitude of colors scattered across the sky. A sunny day is forecasted for today with a maximum of 25 degrees Celsius. And then one of our regulars, Louise G. Cherry, shared this beautiful blue and yellow sky from Alberton in Gauteng. Now, the maximum for your area today, Louise, will be 24 degrees Celsius. Please continue sharing your sunrise photos with us on the Expresso Facebook page. You may just see your photo featured in one of our segments. And just only mere days after record rainfall triggered widespread flooding across the Nashville metro area in the U.S. state of Tennessee, forecasters are monitoring a new round of downpours poised to move into Music City and surrounding regions of the south. Swollen streams and rivers abound throughout the region, following rounds of downpours over the past few weeks. Now, this predicted rain is expected to cause new flooding problems and to exacerbate existing ones. Now, more than 230 millimeters of rain fell in Nashville over the weekend, which pushed the city's month-to-date precipitation tally to 265% of the March average. At least 4 people were killed and rescue crews plucked more than 130 people from cars, apartments, homes as devastating storms hammered the south. North and South Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, and Louisiana were some of the other states battered by gusting winds and tornadoes, hail, and flooding. And following this news, we have decided to give any of our viewers that may be tuned in from Nashville, Tennessee, a brief weather update. It is the capital city of the state of Tennessee, and it is known for its music industry, especially country music. It is also home to numerous colleges and universities. For today, some flood warnings have been issued for the city. However, conditions will be warmer and more pleasant today, while reaching a maximum of 23 degrees Celsius with only a 21% probability of precipitation. And that's where we leave your international weather update. Let's quickly look at your temperatures here in South Africa. I'm going to start off in Polokwane. A partly cloudy day with a low of 13 and a high of 26 can be expected. Mbombela 15 with a high of 27. Pretoria 14, 26. Johannesburg 12 with a high of 24. Mahikeng 13 reaching a high of 28. Klerksdorp partly cloudy with a high of 29. Kimberley 17 reaching a high of 30. Bloemfontein 9 with a high of 27. If you're in Richards Bay, 19 is your low, 26 your high. Pietermaritzburg partly cloudy, reaching a high of 26. Durban 20 with a high of 26. Mthatha 12, reaching a high of 30. East London 18 with a high of 27. Partly cloudy conditions in Cradock with a high of 24. Gqeberha 17, reaching a high of 26. Partly cloudy conditions in George today with a high of 25. Cape Town 15, 22. Worcester sunny with a high of 32. Sutherland 9 reaching a high of 27. And partly cloudy conditions in Uppington today, a low of 20 and a high of 34 degrees Celsius. That's where we leave your weather for now. A final update coming your way at 8 o'clock.
You know what, I'll tell you something, Rao.
Yes?
And I know this, that you are constantly struggling to find your place between being a snack and having a snack. Am I lying?
You might not be lying, I don't know, but right now, dude, this flavor is just absolutely amazing. Apple and cinnamon tubs. I've been snacking on this all day. And I mean, talking about a snack, it's perfect for me, obviously. Starting my day like this, full of minerals, full of all the good stuff, of course. And speaking of good stuff, we got some good stuff coming up right after this. We're chatting to Nikki Besaidenote, one of our Sunrise Photographer contributors. And you do not want to miss this because she's giving us the 411 on exactly what's happening down on her side.
There's a reason why home improvement leader Leroy Merlin is now opening their 4th store in Johannesburg. Because whatever needs solving, fixing, making or building, everyday South Africans are always making a plan. And Leroy Merlin are there to inspire you. They're just around the corner with the widest selection of construction, hardware, kitchen, bathroom, home decor and garden products to make any plan come together beautifully.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. Well, those beautiful sunrise pictures after the weather are still fresh in our mind. That's what we're going to focus on right now. A growing part of the show has been our sunrise segments, when we ask you guys to please share how you start your day in your neck of the woods. And we really do love seeing all of the sunrise photos. It's inspiring to us. And you get literally sent from all corners of South Africa. And we thought we'd touch base with some of those regulars. And this morning we are chatting to none other than Nikki Besaidenote, who is joining us all the way from Mossel Bay this morning. Nikki, a very good morning. How are you?
Morning, Nikki.
I'm good, thanks. And you guys?
Very good. Very, very good.
It's so good chatting to you. I love this part of the show. I get to see who's taking those incredible pictures that we've been looking at.
Yeah.
And I've got to ask you, when did you even start watching the show? And what have been some of the favorites for you?
I started watching it about 6-7 years ago when my kids, when I would get them ready for school, the show would be on. And yeah, I've been watching it ever since. I love the cooking. Definitely, I love the cooking segments. I love the new exercise segments you put out. So that's also quite awesome. And pretty much just love watching your show. And love you guys. I feel like I know you guys already.
Oh, that's the thing. I think that's very much, what we love the most about this show as well, is that we have such a lovely connection and bond with our viewers, and that's been really intensified with some amazing photos. You guys take like professional photos, and it's a way that we get to see the rest of the country, and we connected with you because of your amazing sunrise photos that you've shared with us. I mean, we're looking at some of them on screen now. How did you get into taking these photos? What inspired you?
Oh, pretty much just the beautiful view I have. I mean, I've got the most stunning view. So you wake up every morning, you see this beautiful sunrise. You've got to go and grab your phone and take a picture. That's pretty much how I got into it, and just the beautiful town that I live in.
I was just going to say, especially with that town that you live in, Mossel Bay is so close to my heart.
Gorgeous,
Dias Beach especially.
Look at it.
Often go there. Oh, it just looks stunning. Looks like you're in a Greek, like a holiday away, man. Oh, it looks so good. Oh, Nikki, I believe you're not actually a professional photographer, and that really blows my mind as it is, because the pictures are incredible. But I actually believe you started your own business, or a business of your own. Can you tell us a bit about how you got it started and what exactly it is that you're doing?
I've been making clothing and crocheting since I was a young girl. And obviously did it as a hobby, and now that my children are all out of school, I've got so much time on my hands, and now I'm doing it as a business, and I make wedding dresses, I do bikinis, tops, you name it, I do it.
Oh, wow. I need to maybe can you possibly make me a Speedo? I might need to get in touch with you.
Or at least a nice little string vest, I think. The work looks beautiful, man. Absolutely gorgeous stuff. So, lastly, we'd obviously love to see this beautiful view of yours live as well, and possibly a brief weather update, because that's what we force on all of our Sunrise contributors. So, set the scene for us, Nix. What's the day looking like in Mossel Bay this morning?
Okay, let me get you there quickly. It's a pleasant day today. The weather forecast is pleasant.
Wow. Look at that view, girl.
Oh, my word.
Get out.
Wow.
Oh, my word. How beautiful.
Yeah. Oh. Sunrise over the bay. Gee, can you see that? Incredible.
You have the most amazing view. My word. Tough life, eh, Nikki? Tough life.
The weather forecast today, that's going to be the maximum, and
You see, because your view is too beautiful. Your phone is.
The phone doesn't know what to do.
It doesn't know what to do with itself. I don't know if we've still got you there, Nikki, but we're certainly still getting images of your amazing sunrise. We've got to say how much we appreciate you contributing every single day. We absolutely love your photos, and now that we've been able to meet you, we love you. So keep sending them in and keep loving the view in your beautiful part of South Africa. We really appreciate you so much.
thank you so much for having me on the show. It was awesome to meet you guys.
You too.
Oh, it's always so cool chatting to our fans. They're like family, I know.
FOMO.
Guys, if you've got an incredible view on your side of the world, of course, get in touch with us. Let us know on our social media channels, because we definitely want to feature you, and hopefully we could be chatting to you too and getting to know your side of the world.
And I'm sitting here stalking Nikki Bezuidenhout's beautiful sunrise pictures that she has sent through to us previously, because she has given us an entire catalogue of all of those. Thank you so much, Nikki. We love your work. Beautiful, beautiful views. Thank you so much for sharing those sunrise pictures. But of course, we love asking you at home to share your favorite sunrise photos with us. This morning, we're joined by a professional lifestyle photographer, Jacob Lund, to get some tried and tested tips on how to capture that stunning sunrise photo. Jacob, good morning. Thanks so much for joining us.
Morning.
You've brought a big machine, first of all.
That's my camera.
Oh, you know what? I'm one of those people where you look at a beautiful sunrise and you take a photo of it and the photo just doesn't do it justice. From a professional lifestyle photographer's point of view, how can you really capture the best sunset photo?
That's a very good question. I think it's like asking, how do you take a good photo in general? There's many elements to it, and for a sunrise, what's unique about a sunrise is, I think, it's the amazing colors, the amazing light that you see there. So it's really about trying to capture that light and get your exposure right, so you can see what's happening in the details in the sunrise.
And I suppose that's where a lot of people do get it wrong, because there is such a dynamic light that takes place in that moment. If you don't know how to control the exposure and all of that, you can get it wrong. Exactly. What would you say, Jacob, that is a good setup?
So a good setup is always the camera you have at hand. I think most cameras can capture a sunrise. It's really about understanding the tools you have at hand. A smartphone can take a good photo. A camera like this can take a good photo. If you want to invest in a good DSLR, I would say spend more money on your lens than on your body, on your camera body.
All right.
Because it's really the glass in front that makes the picture more than the body.
And I know lenses are very expensive and very special to any photographer. Now, for someone that wants to capture the perfect sunrise or sunset, in terms of framing, do you want your sunrise in the corner? Do you want it in the middle? Is there anything with regards to
consider?
Setup?
I think the great and the fun thing about photography is there's no rules.
There's no rules.
You can do whatever you want, and experiment and maybe try different things than other people do. It's always very obvious when you shoot a sunset or a sunrise to have the sun like dead center in your frame.
Yeah.
But there's tons of other things you can do. You can actually just turn around and see what that beautiful sunrise light does to the scenery you're in.
Yeah, okay. And when it comes to settings, right? Because you obviously do have those sort of basic settings that anyone, whether you're using a DSLR or using a Samsung like me, and I find there's so many components of it that are like a DSLR, those settings you've absolutely got to get right, that you've got to nail first. What are those?
So when shooting on a DSLR, the things you need to know is how is exposure made up, and there's three elements, and that's your shutter speed, your aperture, and your ISO. And if you kind of like understand how these three elements affect your photo, then you're all set for any kind of photography, because that's pretty much all it is. And for a sunrise shot, if you want to have a nice shot where everything is sharp throughout your frame, you want to adjust your aperture. You want to set a high aperture from 8 or 9 or up. If you want to have maybe a close-up of an element in the foreground with a soft background, then you want to have a low aperture. So there's these different elements that you can play with, but you need to understand how they affect each other.
Yeah, I love how you make it sound so simple. Just your aperture 6.3, 4.9, then you must go. I mean, it's like flying an aircraft.
I know, oh gosh. But I wanted to know from you, I mean, you mentioned off camera that you're actually from Denmark, you spend a lot of time there, you're currently in South Africa right now. In Cape Town, or even throughout South Africa, where's been some of your favorite locations to capture beautiful sunrise or sunset photos?
So I would say, I've traveled pretty much around the world, and Cape Town is the place that I keep coming to for photography. It's the most beautiful place, and just like Sea Point Promenade, the mountains, Table Mountain or Lion's Head. You get amazing opportunities to shoot sunrise and sunsets there.
And the models, don't forget to mention when you are shooting, the models in Cape Town are top tier.
They are the best. They're the best.
Jacob, man, you're a legend. Thank you so much for hanging out with us this morning. You really have, I think, shared some really interesting tips on how to truly get the best out of your camera or your smartphone when taking those sunrise or sunset photos. Now, don't miss that golden hour. Be sure to go out there and capture that golden moment and share it with us on our Facebook page, Expresso Morning Show SABC3.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Yes, bring the family. 100%. Your cousin's coming over. Get the crush and I'll get the ice.
The whole family.
More Crush Milk, 100% refreshing, 100% goodness.
Made with love by Clover.
All right, welcome back to it, your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso, in for your dose of Feel Good this Tuesday morning. Thank you so much for that. Now, if you have a trip planned with the family for the long weekend, it could mean a long ride in the car as well. And we know how those can go. Road trips with your children, they really don't have to be difficult ordeals punctuated with a repeated, "Are we there yet? I need to pee," and all of those other things.
I feel like you were that child.
Were you that child?
Was
yeah.
I that child?
Yeah,
That's
the
a good
feeling.
question. Very good question. But there are plenty of ways to make it fun for both you and your children. So maybe let's play some card games, guys.
Yes. Well, you know what? Growing up, we used to
100%,
play a game called car cricket, and I don't remember the exact layout, but it was just you had to look at the number plates of the cars approaching. So you had to obviously face forward, and then you played around with the number plates, but when a truck came, that meant you were out.
Oh, wow. Depends where you're
pass the
driving, because on the N3, then, I mean, you'll be out a lot, eh?
I love this particular game because it's something you can play with the whole family, and it can go kind of, it can really get entertaining, but you can also record it and then play it back later. So you can actually turn the whole thing into a moment of family joy, and it's called story time. So it's basically where one person starts, and you'll start with a once upon a time, and then you kind of do one sentence, and then it moves around the car, and you keep going, and yeah, I mean, you can make it last for the whole trip if you want to, but
Which is
10
fine.
minutes, yeah. So let's give it a go now, right now. Once upon a time, there was a little boy from Hammanskraal who had lost the horse that he loved so much.
And he didn't even know where he had gotten that horse from to start with, but he had such a great affinity for that horse. And he went searching far and wide across Dertag in Hammanskraal to try and find it.
And then he realized the horse was actually a unicorn. With a ponytail that was pink and turquoise and blue and yellow.
I wanted to lead back to a point, and then
a fun one.
Many years later, he returned to Hammanskraal on his unicorn, and a band was playing to welcome him home. And it turns out that he had hired the band to play when he returned.
But being the man committed to refreshment, he knew that he would get nowhere, absolutely nowhere, without a Clover Crush 100% mango flavored, not only to quench his thirst, but also to play to the scorching heat of Hammanskraal during that time of
What
the
did you
year.
say? All across Dertag.
Okay, you
So
guys
as
are
you can
making
see, this would be an
stories.
unbelievably entertaining game. It was actually a lot more fun than I even thought it would be. Were you an I Spy kind of a kid? You strike me as being quite on it with like I Spy.
We were quite classic, and the whole idea was when we played I Spy with My Little Eye, and you had to mention something starting with and then you would give the letter or something that is blue. So you would give a little bit of a description with your I Spy, and the persons or whoever's playing with you have to guess, and they can ask as many questions, and you'll just say yes or no. So that's how we played I Spy, but the secret was whatever you spotted for the duration of the game, it must always be visible. So you can't choose something that was 200 meters behind you anymore.
Okay.
So it had to always be visible.
Oh, wow.
That's the secret to I Spy with My
And it
Little
depends
Eye.
how old the passengers in the car are, because if they're like Jack's age, for example, they don't mind playing a game like that where they're asking questions of yes and no.
No, you don't understand. Jack plays it, but he's kind of got it somewhere along the line. I messed up teaching him. So he'll be like, something starting with red. I'm like, no, that's the guy. That's not it. Something starting with da. Okay, I Spy with My Little Eye, something beginning with C.
The couch.
No. Are you trying to read my mind?
Sea lion?
Are you trying to...
The sea lion is
that's
with the
sea
S.
lion.
Oh, sea, like sea.
Like
Clover.
Clover Crush.
That would have been a good
100%,
one,
wouldn't
actually,
it?
but no.
Really?
What do we look at that no one else sees?
Cameras.
Yes, very well
I
done.
think they're seeing them right now, aren't they? Well, no.
Let's see if we can see a camera.
I just saw one of the cameraman's point. Oh,
There it is. Look at that. Here's another fun game. Because you need to exercise, and not only is it's obviously vitally important that the driver gets out of the car and kind of stretches their legs, kind of loosens their eyes, grab a coffee or whatever you need to do, but the kids also need to kind of get the circulation going and exercise a little bit. So what you can do is you can have a fun little exercise routine. So what I'm going to say is, Ryle, start doing jumping jacks right now, dude.
Are you going to
Start
just put
doing
him
it.
on the
Thank you.
spot like that?
Yeah, thanks. And just don't stop doing that, Barry, for like 15
For a while.
And that's
He
what
can
you do
do
with the
that,
kids.
though.
He could absolutely do that. So that's how you can refresh your day with 100% goodness, thanks to 100% Crush. Your road trips can be fun. They can be some of the best times that you can share with your family. Just being caught in close confines doesn't mean that it has to be frustrating. It can actually be 100% awesome and fun the whole trip through. Are we there yet? Are we there yet?
Ryle,
yet.
have you stopped? What's the story there? Has he stopped the jump?
Okay.
I mean, you know
Are we
what?
there yet?
Ryle.
Bring the family. 100%. Your cousin's coming over. Get the crush and I'll get the ice.
The whole family.
More Crush Milk, 100% refreshing, 100% goodness.
Made with love by Clover.
Whew, thank you actually for making me do those jumping jacks because I'm about to earn it. It's cake and we're talking all things cake. Now cake, it's the name of the game and we're out here in the kitchen today and we have a quick, convenient and oh so delicious option. It's called Easter microwave cake. And it's a quick and easy one too. Now it's enriched with the goodness of new laid free range eggs and this is exactly what we want and exactly what we need when we're talking about an Easter rush treat in a hurry. Now watch closely as Ilham from the My Hungry Husband blog shows us exactly how it's done. Ilham, how are you doing this morning?
Hi, I'm good, Ryle, thanks.
I'm excited for this one because I know everybody's going to have that last minute prep, last minute reasons to try and entertain, and I think this is going to be the answer.
Exactly, and it's so quick and easy. I think everyone is like going to go and make this now because you know you can have cake for breakfast.
I think you had him Zanzi quick and easy. So what's the game plan here?
Okay, so can I actually ask you to start with the icing?
Oh, I'm putting me to work straight away. Okay, I'm here for it.
While I do the cake batter, you can make the icing for us. So we've just got some butter and icing sugar, which you're going to sift
All right, cool.
in.
So butter's in here. I can just sift the flour through, and then we've got milk and vanilla.
Vanilla essence.
All right.
Yeah. So just remember, with icing sugar, we want to sift it just to get any lumps out.
Okay, we don't want no lumpy cake.
No. Well, that's the icing. So then we actually going to make like a vanilla sponge.
Okay.
So that's what I'm going to do. So I've got some butter, and then I'm going to add my sugar.
Ooh.
And then 2 eggs.
Our hero ingredient. I'm loving the free range vibes that are coming through from New Laid as well. Obviously, something like 13 essential vitamins and minerals in there. Good source of protein too, and of course those good healthy fats coming in there.
Yes, eggs are so good for you.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, it's almost like an apple a day. You could say an egg a day might also keep the doctor away. You never know.
So I'm just gonna add my wet ingredients to this bowl. Actually,
I've been noticing this wet ingredient, dry ingredient thing. I never knew it was even a thing. I thought it was just like throw it in, mix it up, put it in the oven.
It's actually, I think, well, I generally gravitate towards recipes that are like that just because they're so much easier to make. So I'm just going to keep on whisking this until it gets a bit smooth, and then I'm going to add about half of this milk in.
Okay. Actually going to use this. I'm noticing now that I've got all the lumpy little bits left over, so the sieve actually worked quite well. And if I wanted to, I could obviously just press it through the sieve as well.
Yeah, that works.
Right.
And you know, if you want to make a chocolate cake or chocolate icing, you just have to replace about half a cup of that icing sugar with cocoa powder. And then you'd be able to make chocolate icing.
So doing exactly the same thing that I am right now.
Yeah, so with the cake, if I wanted to make a chocolate cake, I would just take out half a cup of the flour and I would add half a cup of cocoa powder. And then I have chocolate cake and I have chocolate icing.
I might go with that one. Chocolate's definitely my kryptonite. I can't say no to that.
So
but I mean, vanilla is obviously probably everybody's favorite too, so.
Yeah. So I'm just adding the dry ingredients into my wet ingredients. So I've got the flour, the baking powder, and the salt.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna gently mix this together. You don't want to over-mix your cake batter.
Why? What's going to happen if you do that?
So if you do that, you'd probably end up with a very dense cake.
Okay.
You know, and I don't know if you've
more
ever...
like a muffin or almost like a scone.
Yeah, it will end up being very dense. And you also don't want to overcook your cake. So this cake is actually going to go into the microwave for about 2 to 3 minutes on high. And then, you know, once it's done, we've just got a container here that's greased. So any container that's microwave safe, whether you're using like a glass dish or a glass bowl.
Yeah.
And then just 2 to 3 minutes on high.
So,
and the cake is done.
No oven, no nothing else, just the microwave for 2-3 minutes, and that's it.
And I mean, you can see, I used a whisk, and it was just very easy. So
I think I'm done here, although it does. I don't know if this is supposed to be what it looks like. I've got a little bit of lumpiness coming from the butter. I don't know if you approve or not.
Well, I think we'll just have to like smooth it out a little bit.
Sometimes she doesn't approve of my icing skills, clearly. So I'll leave Laman, the professional, to get to it. But I mean, it's so simple, so convenient. I think if I tried this again, I could definitely do it better. But I could do this myself with no help as well.
Completely. Just, can you put this in the microwave for me?
Certainly.
That's 2 to 3 minutes on high.
Simple as that.
And then we've got our cake already made. So I think...
Boom. Can even work a microwave, Mzansi.
You know, when it comes to like decorating cakes, and especially now because it's Easter, we've got such great like chocolates and Easter eggs and all of these like treats that are just so delicious. And I think they go really well with cake. So, you know, you can take whatever Easter treats you have, whether they like the hard-coated candied eggs or chocolate Easter eggs, and just like put them on your cake just to like zhuzh it up a bit.
And then you get that beautiful end product over there, and after 2 to 3 minutes, straight out of the microwave. Of course, Mzansi, that is our microwave free-range Easter cake, and it's such an easy and delicious way to get that treat in, especially if you're packed up with time, of course. And you can get this recipe at expressoshow.com, and the rest is going to be history in the belly. Thank you, Ella. That was easy.
Be the hero in your home with Leroy Merlin DIY retail stores and the widest selection of construction, hardware, kitchen, bathroom, home decor and garden products.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to it, your Feel Good Breakfast Show. You're in for that dose of Feel Good. Now, since November 2019, our team here at Cadova Productions has had the privilege to meet and work alongside 6 very, very talented hospitality and catering students. And they have been doing an 18-month internship with us here at Cadova. And of course, we thought it was only fair to capture their very last task before they graduate. The challenge that has been set for them is to prepare a seafood buffet. Oh yes, let's take a look at how it all went down. You guys. Good day,
that our interns from Falls Bay College have been waiting for is finally here. After 18 months of study and an 18-month-long internship, they've got one final box to tick, and that is to cook a seafood buffet. Now, all of this is to showcase their versatility and flair and how they're able to prepare seafood in a variety of ways. Sounds yum. Let's meet them.
18 months has definitely prepared me for this day. It's been a long time. It's all eyes on me. The cameras are here. I'm feeling quite nervous and kind of excited at the same time. I'm definitely prepared for today. I have it all in the bag.
Today I'm feeling very nervous. I don't know how everything is going to work out, but I'm also very excited as well.
Yesterday I was preparing everything, then skating out for this lovely day. So today I'm super ready.
Brilliant. It's time to see what you're made of. Is everybody ready?
Yes!
Ready, steady, cook!
More than anything, I'm looking to find if they've learned what we've taught them over the last 18 months. There's been quite an array of things that we've taught, from portioning, from recipe development, from styling, food styling. So I want to see if all of that actually comes through, because it's quite a lot of info. I mean, 18 months is quite long to get all of that in. So I'm hoping that I see all of that today in how they plate their dishes and how they flavor their dishes, because more than anything, it also is about that flavor.
Buffet standard is all about eating with your eyes. You control what you dish up. That is what a buffet is all about. But there's another thing. You need to know if it's going to be warm. Are you going to be dishing it up as to be warm or cold? Because that's also a very big thing on a buffet. And if it's something that's supposed to be served at a cold temperature, you don't want it to be room temperature. There's nothing worse. So I want to see, are they going to be able to get that right?
Falls Bay College is a TVET institution. We've got 6 campuses. We have Fischhoek, Muizenberg, Khayelitsha, Westlake, as well as our Swartklip campus. What Muizenberg campus focuses on, we focus on hospitality and tourism. I expect our students to make us proud and to showcase their skills acquired and what they've learned on the internship.
First and foremost, these were our top performing students, and then we expect them today to showcase their skills and their ability, and also showing us some flair, passion and the creativity. We are having a full confidence of their skills and their ability.
You know, as an intern placement specialist, I'd just like to take this opportunity to thank Cordova, because during this pandemic, all hospitality and catering interns would have had to go to a restaurant or a hotel to do their internship. In this case, these hospitality students were placed in a live production kitchen, which worked daily throughout the pandemic. So these interns have been extremely fortunate to have done all of their logbook functions and tasks. And in this case, they will definitely be able to get their diploma. So Cordova, thank you. You have done an awesome job.
Well, what a moment right before us, ladies. I think this is particularly exciting, and I think for me such a standout, because you can see all of the heart and soul that the girls have put into preparing all of these. You must be proud.
I definitely am proud, Tabiso, and I think the biggest thing for me is that you can see the progress. You can see the effort they put into it, and we all say you eat with your eyes first. Look at it. It looks, I know, it looks very inviting. The smells that were coming out of the kitchen as they were cooking, I was like, I even had to have a snack because I was like, I'm hungry, I need to eat now. So I'm very proud, and well, as they say, the proof of the pudding is in the tasting, so I can't wait for that part of this feast, but for now, I definitely am impressed. It looks amazing.
Love it. And you?
I'm super, super proud. I'm more upset that you're here, that I have to fight you off and share. But
it's WrestleMania.
It looks so, so good. I'm very proud of how they presented it, and I'm looking at their techniques, and it's looking good. I mean, I see some fried elements here. Everything's perfectly golden brown, beautifully toasted, beautifully baked. So yeah, I can't wait to tuck in.
Ooh, Mrs. Beleni.
As a college, we are exceptionally proud about this student. Looking at their end product, it demonstrates the caliber of the TVET education, and as well, they are representing us as a college in the world of work.
Ms. Hearn, it's not just about the great-looking food. It's really a story of how these young ladies are about to go out into industry and really just blaze us all forward, right?
Yes, we are exceptionally proud of our students to see how they've grown and look at what they've presented. It's appetizing, it's restaurant quality.
Yeah.
What they've presented, I'm just bursting of excitement and so proud. And we say they come through our hands, and just to see how they've grown in what they've learned.
Well, ladies, you've got every reason to be proud. I'm looking at all of this. Okay, I'm super proud now, but I'm ready to eat the food as well. Who's with me? Are you with me? We're all on standby. Let's go. What a moment. 18 months of hard work and pure learning and dedication. We are incredibly proud of all of these interns. We know that they are ready to head out there and serve, and we can't wait to work with them in the future. Yes. Oh, yes. Well done, ladies. Well done. You've done so well. 18 months of a journey here at Cordova. You've inspired so many recipes on this show, and you've connected with our viewers in the most beautiful way, and they've connected with the recipes that you guys have a hand in putting out. You want to cry, but there is no need for it, Kelly. I promise you.
I'm saving. I'm holding back the tears.
You're holding back the tears, but it's tears of pride and joy, right? Hey?
That's right, yes. Tears of joy.
Well, they're about to do something interesting.
Yes, I was about to say, they had a nice little cook-off, but the cooking is not stopping here on your Feel Good Breakfast show. Are you two ready?
We're ready, yes.
Do you know what's ahead of you right now? Yep. It is a classic on Expresso. It is our omelette challenge. It's brought to you by New Laid. And for those of you who don't know, this is how it works. It's really easy. Our very own Aniba Folman, as well as Kelly and Damons have 2 minutes to fully they have to cook, plate an omelette, and of course the goal is to finish first and as quickly as possible, and the person with the best looking, tasting omelette is our winner for our Expresso Omelette Challenge. Now both of you have your stations ready in front of you. You've got everything you need?
Yes.
Okay, we're going to put a timer on, and then you're going to start in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Okay. The ladies only have 2 minutes, and I'm going to ask some questions along. Aniba, how often do you cook the omelettes at home?
Well, actually every Monday, so...
Every Monday? Is that a routine in the family?
Yes.
Is there a special recipe that you personalize your omelettes with?
No, simple, plain and simple with some cheese, and that's it.
Okay, so today we're only making plain omelettes.
Yes.
Today. Kelly, I see you going quite quickly over there.
Yeah, I'm incorporating some egg into the egg, so for a nice light and fluffy omelette.
Ah, okay. There we go. Okay, this is a competition between the two. So far, Aniba, highlight of being one of the interns here at Expresso.
It's been difficult. I'm joking.
You can be honest.
It's been amazing. Like everyone I've met so far and the experience in and it's couldn't ask for anything better.
Amazing. And for you, Kelly?
I can second that, what Aniba just said. It has been an amazing opportunity, and I'm very grateful to have been part of this wonderful team.
Ah, okay. So I'm already noticing a little bit of a difference. Look. Kelly put a plate over hers. Aniba's keeping it open. Will that affect the taste and the texture? We have 40 seconds left, ladies.
Oh my gosh.
40 seconds. 2 minutes is not a lot. Oh, 30 seconds. I feel like this is the world's fastest timer.
Yes!
Go, Kelly! Woo! Okay, well, let me quickly tell you what makes New Laid eggs so amazing. It is really, one large egg has been filled with 13 essential vitamins and minerals. Eggs are low in saturated fats and higher in heart-healthy fats. So, of course, can we give them an extra 30 seconds? I feel like as interns, they are programmed to do and deliver perfection. Can we give them a few more minutes? Or seconds? Few more seconds? Okay, we should have made a scrambled egg challenge. I think that would have been easier.
Much easier.
I mean, an omelette, that's not easy. Here we go. Okay, so we're giving you an extra 30 seconds.
Yay! Wonderful.
There we go. See, being an intern, you put under pressure.
My heat is off.
Uh-oh,
Yeah,
that's
mine
not
was
going to
off
help you
too.
do it. There we go. There we go. Okay, I'm going to count you down from 10. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I feel like this is the first time our omelette challenge has not been completed because our hospitality interns and our foodie interns are perfectionists.
Yeah, perfection takes time.
That's it. So now what do we do?
It's getting there. It's getting there. Another 30
It's
seconds.
still getting there.
Almost there. Almost.
I feel like we need to get the boys in to maybe come and taste. Ryle,
Yes.
how do you feel about eating raw egg?
Is it raw egg tasting? I'm
Well,
very
the
excited for
omelets
this.
aren't done.
Very much raw.
Look at them. Look at that technique. They're like shifting the omelette
Zoe,
forward.
I'm so happy because when I first came into the show, I had to do a challenge like this and it was a flop. So I'm feeling good about myself right now because I have the quality of intern chefs which are now graduating, I believe, as well. So
Yes.
well done, ladies.
Thank you.
But the
Rao.
proof, of course, is going to definitely be in the pudding, or should we say egging?
The omelette.
The omeletting. Is it an omelette or a scrambled egg?
A little bit of both. 50-50.
Okay.
50-50,
Okay.
50-50. Okay. I mean, I don't know how you feel about eating raw egg, but I feel like maybe you can judge it on how it
actually
looks.
honestly don't mind eating raw egg. I'll do that for
Okay.
Mzansi. Because I think I can still get the taste. So ladies, when you guys are ready, plate me
There
up,
we
get
go.
me
Okay.
into the good stuff.
See, they are being perfect.
Look at these
with their
perfectionists.
omelette.
You can't even get it off the plate.
Okay, so I know you don't have the ingredients right now, but Kelly, how would you usually serve your omelette?
With lots of chives.
With lots of chives.
You can ask
And
the food
Kelly?
team. They know I love chives. So I'll put chives with everything along some cheese.
Lots of chives.
There we go.
And you, Aniba?
Well, like I said, plain and simple, but I like some parsley.
Some parsley.
Oh, all right.
Full of the cookies. Okay, so Ralph's going to be
Just
the
to
judge.
make a mention, you guys did cheat because you didn't do it in the time period.
Okay,
so
okay.
Mzansi knows, but
It's going to be hot, so be careful.
Hot, raw, I don't mind. It's always
You're
good.
going big.
It's medium, not
It's going to be
raw.
impossible to choose someone to win.
I got a little smile on my face. Let's try number 2 over here. from young Kelly.
No pressure, Ryle. What do you think? Who is the winner?
Drum roll, please.
Drum roll.
And our winner is... Kelly, it was the pizzazz of the plate for me, a little bit extra salt and pepper just kind of balanced the flavor. But, oh, you guys have been an absolute dream to work with. Thank you for all the magic, and thank you for feeling my pity and making me smile.
Aw, thank you. You guys are amazing. We're gonna, you know what, we loved having you here, so well done. And I know these are some fun memories that you've made over the last 18 months. There we go. Well, there we go. We have a winner. Does a room in your home desperately need a deep clean and declutter experience? This could be your chance to upgrade your space for you and your family to enjoy. SA's online cleaning hub, Cleanipedia, is giving away 2 room transformations worth 30,000 Rand each. Visit cleanipedia.com/ZA and sign up to enter. You could also stand a chance to win weekly prize hampers. Get easy, expert cleaning tips for a happier home at cleanipedia.com/ZA.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to it, your feel-good breakfast show, Expresso. Now, the name Noxolo means peace, and whenever veteran isiXhosa news anchor Noxolo Grootboom takes to the desk, a peaceful feeling fills those who watch and trust her impeccable reportage. And Mzansi has been sending her an outpouring of affection as she recently announced her retirement from SABC News, and she joins us now on the line to reflect on her absolutely iconic career ahead of her final bulletin, which will be tonight on SABC News. Mam Noxolo, good morning.
Good morning, Danam.
Wow.
I don't know why I'm feeling all emotional now that we're actually connecting with you. I can only imagine what must be going through your mind and your heart right now. Noxolo, I'm going to ask you to go back to the very beginning for us, because your journey has been an incredible one that we've been able to obviously play some part in as a viewer. But what sparked your original passion for journalism, and when did you know that you wanted to become a TV news anchor?
You'll be surprised to know that was never, ever in my dreams. Now, when I came to Johannesburg, it was due to circumstances beyond my control. And me and my two brothers joined my mom into the Soweto. And when I saw the humble abode that we were going to call home, a back room smaller than my original bedroom at home, I made a conscious decision that I will do everything in my power to pull ourselves out of that misery. But it ended not being misery, because in those bedrooms, love and new dreams were born. And my new dream was that I will take any job that comes my way. Anything.
Well, we're so lucky that you then ended up choosing to be
ending up
on
where
our
you
screens
were,
and ended up being, the veteran that you are today. I mean, you've inspired so many young people, both to become journalists as well as report in their mother tongues. Well, why do you think it has been so important for people to be inspired by your impeccable work in isiXhosa?
I think what excited me most was the fact that ultimately, I got to work with my language, isiXhosa. I love isiXhosa. I live isiXhosa. I breathe isiXhosa. And I respect isiXhosa. It is my heritage. It defines who I am. And so for me to be given an opportunity to uplift all those virtues that I have about isiXhosa, it was more than enough.
Well, we've seen so many people come out with an outpouring, really, of love, right?
Of love and emotion.
Yeah.
I think it's gotten quite raw. I've got to ask you this. How are you coping? How are you feeling now that you have seen how much you matter to your viewers? How are you feeling about this outpouring of emotion and support? And most importantly, how are you going to deal with going live tonight for your final broadcast?
I mean, what is happening now in South Africa, I really never imagined would come to this. I keep on saying, to me, it was a job that needed to be done. Not just done, but very well. And I was offering a service to South Africans. But what is happening now? It has reduced me to an emotional wreck. And I keep on asking myself, what is it that I have done, to be showered by this love?
It was certainly more than a job, Mam Nokolo. It was a service. It was a service to the nation. It was an absolute calling, and we've really enjoyed being a part of this journey of yours. 37 years. I mean, it's incredible.
And it's also those moments in history that you have offered us a perspective and a front row seat on as well. Can we ask you one big favor, because you will do it again, obviously, we hope tonight when you sign off one last time, but you have quite a well-known and famous sign-off. Can you give it to us right now, just so we can hear it and feel special?
Bekumnandi ukuba nani kwesi sidlo senu nisiphakela abemi boMzantsi Afrika kwijelo lika-SABC ngale ntsasa. Ngifuna ukuthi ke kuni xa niyobeka inhloko ngobusuku zenilale nombethe ingubo yenzisiswano uxolo nothando ndinithanda nonke emakhaya.
Oh, Mam Nokolo. Thank you. Thank you very much, Mam Nokolo, for everything. Thank you for your service. Thank you for sharing yourself with us South Africans, and we love you so, so much.
Thank you very much, my dear. It's been a pleasure to grace the show this morning.
Thank you.
Oh, man, good luck tonight. Enjoy it. And, of course, you can enjoy that one final broadcast. Very, very emotional time for the SABC family tonight. It is now just gone 8 o'clock in the morning. Let's get back into our news headlines.
Thank you, Graham. And I'll start off with national news. With Easter being part of the first weekend of April this year, the SA Social Security Agency, SASSA, beneficiaries will have to wait a few days extra in order to access their grants after the Good Friday and Family Day public holidays. The grant payout dates are older persons, Tuesday, the 6th of April, disability grants, 7 April, and children's grants, Thursday, the 8th of April. There is no set payment date for the 350 Rand Social Relief of Distress grant, with SASSA saying that successful applicants will receive payment from 8 April onwards. And staying with local news, President Cyril Ramaphosa is reported to be meeting with provincial premiers today, with a decision on the restrictions during the Easter festivities expected to be finalized either today or tomorrow. A possible stricter curfew is on the cards. In his letter to the nation yesterday, the president said while every effort must be made to support the right to religious freedom, this should not place the rights or the lives of others at risk. Today's deliberations come ahead of an anticipated third wave of infections. And moving abroad, above average rains mixed with sun last week in most of Ivory Coast cocoa production regions have bolstered expectations for a strong April to September mid-crop, farmers say yesterday. Ivory Coast, the world's top cocoa producer, is entering its rainy season, which runs from April to mid-November. The West African country's southern and coastal regions are expected to see particularly high rainfall this year, the National Weather Forecast body has said. Farmers said the October to March main crop was tailing off, and that they are anticipating a new farm gate prices to be set in early April. And staying with news abroad, traffic has resumed in the Suez Canal after a stranded container ship blocked it for nearly a week was finally freed by salvage crews. The 400-meter long Ever Given was dislodged yesterday with the help of dredgers. Some 370 vessels are waiting to sail through the canal on the shortest trade route between Europe and Asia. It's reported that some 30,000 cubic meters of sand had to be removed, after which at least 13 tugs were used to turn the 224,000-ton vessel so that it no longer blocked the canal. And next, some local birders and public's assistance is requested. Local birding communities and the general public have been urged to look out for the ringed Cape cormorant along the Western Cape coastline. Good news is seabird rescue group SANCOB's announcement that it would begin a phased release back into the wild of the some 2,000 Cape birds it rescued from Robben Island in mid-January. In coming weeks, the birds will be regularly graded for release readiness, and groups of 40 to 100 are to be placed in a temporary aviary built on the island at SANCOB that carries out a soft release process. All birds released will be equipped with with metal rings, and a subset will be also individually marked with color bands for easier identification. Bird watchers are requested to report ring re-sightings with the date and location to SAFRing and SANCOB, and kindly note the letter number combination and ring color. Ring re-sightings can be reported to SAFRing or to SANCOB. Should an injured seabird or a dead Cape cormorant with a ring be encountered, kindly contact SANCOB as well. SANCOB's telephone number is 021 557 6155. Well, that's where we leave your morning headlines. Here is a final look at your sport.
Thanks so much, Zoe. Let's kick it off with cricket this morning, and I think it was a foregone conclusion. The Dolphins secured the 4-day series trophy as they beat the Titans convincingly in the end by an innings and 76 runs on the final day of the match in Durban. The Dolphins posted 295 in their first innings, which proved too tough a target for the Titans to chase. The Pretoria side, in fact, were bowled out for 166 after being asked to bat again after their low-scoring first innings, which only amounted to a record-breaking 53 runs. So a brilliant bowling display from spin pair Pranellan Subran, 10 for 80, and Sinuran Mutasamy, 9 for 91, was ultimately what led the Dolphins side to an emphatic victory and domestic glory. Now on to netball. Another strong performance from Uganda secured a 57-27 win over Namibia in their Tri-Nations series currently taking place in Cape Town. Uganda have now beaten Namibia on all 3 occasions they played against them in the series. The other result of the day saw the baby Proteas up against the President's 12, who just edged past the young side by 6 points. That final score there, 52-46. So today's fixture sees Namibia take on the table-topping unbeaten South Africa at 6 p.m. And in the earlier fixture at 4 p.m. there'll be a rematch between the baby Proteas and the President's 12. And now finally onto football, still enjoying that international footballing window. Egypt secured a 4-0 win over the Comores in a match where Mohamed Salah bagged 2 goals to become the Pharaohs' all-time second top goal scorer, now with 43 goals in 69 appearances. Elsewhere, Angola ran away with a 2-0 win over Gabon, who have already booked their AFCON tickets, while Burkina Faso, they clinched a 1-0 victory over Sudan, thanks to a goal from Bertrand Traore. That's a wrap of your sport for this Tuesday morning. Let's take one last look at some of your beautiful sunrise pictures and get a take on today's weather.
And we have received so many stunning sunrise images this morning. There was an abundance to choose from. So we started off this morning with our viewer Nikki Besaidenote from Mossel Bay, who we chatted to earlier. Pat Anderson from Amanzimtoti also shared this colorful skyline over the ocean. And at 7 a.m. we received another shot overlooking the ocean from Jim Gibson in Jeffreys Bay, as well as, last but not least, Louise G. Cherry from Alberton in Gauteng, who shared her gorgeous view. Please continue to share your stunning sunrise images with us. You can do so on the Expresso Facebook page, and you may just see your picture featured on the show. And we love the fact that we also have a growing international audience who tune in via YouTube, as well as the Africa channel that broadcasts in the US. Now, for your final international weather update for the morning, we are heading to Santa Monica in California. Santa Monica is a beachfront city which became famed as a resort town. A popular tourist site and well-known view is the Pacific Park on the Santa Monica Pier. The famous Pacific Coast Highway also passes through Santa Monica. It spans over 900 kilometers of California's rugged and beautiful coastline. Now, your day for today, if you're in Santa Monica, expect periods of low-lying clouds as well as times of sun. A maximum of 22 degrees Celsius is expected. And we've all seen those majestic storm clouds that form on a hot summer's day. But what's the temperature right at the very top? Well, it's cold, very cold, in fact, well below freezing. But would you be surprised to learn that it sometimes even goes below minus 100 degrees Celsius? Now, scientists have just published research showing the top of one tropical storm cloud system in 2018, which reached minus 111 degrees Celsius. Very likely a record low temperature. It was spotted on the 29th of December that year, just south of the equator in the western Pacific. The measurements was made by a passing American satellite, and long-term data suggests that these super cold thunderstorms may be increasing in frequency. There have been as many such events across the globe in the past 3 years as there were in the 13 years before that. And the colder the storm, the more likely it is to produce hazardous weather such as lightning and flooding. Well, that's where we leave your international weather. Let's quickly look at your temperatures here at home. If you're in Polokwane, partly cloudy conditions can be expected with a low of 13, a high of 26. Mbombela 15, reaching a high of 27. Pretoria 14, 26. Johannesburg 12 with a high of 24. If you're in Mahikeng, 13 is your low, 28 your high. Klerksdorp partly cloudy with a high of 29. Sunny in Kimberley reaching a high of 30. Bloemfontein 9 reaching a high of 27. Richards Bay 19, 26. Pietermaritzburg 15, 26. Partly cloudy in Durban with a high of 26. If you're in Mthatha, 12 is your low, 30 is your high for today. East London 18, 27. Cradock 34 with a low of 12 for today. Gqeberha 17 reaching a high of 26. George 13 reaching a high of 25. Cape Town 15, 22. If you're in Worcester today, sunny conditions with a high of 32. Sutherland 9 reaching a high of 27. And Uppington 20 is your low for today and 34 degrees Celsius, that is your high. If you have a beautiful sunrise photo that you'd love to share with us, please do so on the Expresso Facebook page.
Yes, please, indeed. Send us those pictures. You got those tips on how to take the perfect sunrise picture. Please use the tips. We want to see the pictures. But we did ask you a very important question this morning that's hopefully going to inspire so many of us. It's got to do with your morning routine to step into a positive zone, right?
Yeah, and everybody's come through with some awesome routines. Starting off with tomorrow. She says, step number 1, I pray. Number 2, drink some coffee. Get that energy going. And then number 3, I get ready for the day because every day is different. And yes, tomorrow, every day is a blessing too. And I love that one, Tubbs.
And that's the beauty of it. If your days are the same every day, you need to make some adjustments.
Yeah.
And Patricia Somaya says, good morning, gorgeous. I don't know if you're talking to me or
must
to
be you,
Ryle,
Tubbs. That must be
but
you.
I'm sure it's... I open the door, breathe in the morning breeze and start my day talking to Jesus. That's beautiful.
Getting direction from the divine, having that relationship, opening that conversation early in the morning is always a good thing. And Joan Cameron, or Joanne, I'm not sure how you pronounce it exactly, but she says she puts on my gown, make a cup of coffee.
She puts on whose gown?
My gown or yours?
No, she says she puts on her gown.
She puts her gown on, makes a cup of coffee, and then opens up a sliding door to stand on the veranda and breathe in some fresh air. And all of this before watching the Expresso show, of course. Yes, Joanne, thank you so much for tuning in to us. I can't explain how awesome it is to see what people are doing in the morning. And I think everybody has a different routine, but everybody has an opportunity to really just enjoy the blessing that you have when you do wake up.
Every day is a new opportunity to be blessed. See you after this.
There's a reason why home improvement leader Leroy Merlin is now opening their 4th store in Johannesburg. Because whatever needs solving, fixing, making or building, everyday South Africans are always making a plan. And Leroy Merlin are there to inspire you. They're just around the corner with the widest selection of construction, hardware, kitchen, bathroom, home decor and garden products to make any plan come together beautifully.
Welcome back. Of course, you're still locked in. It's your feel-good breakfast show. And if there's something that connects the world of the haves, and the have-nots.
You can call them haves too if you want.
It's got to be when you build an empire. Now, that's based on a web of lies and deceit, and it will all come crashing down when those secrets unravel. Now, it's an exciting new local telenovel. It's called The Estate, and it's going to provide a rich and detailed universe in which this is explored. And our very own Tabisa Makubela recently spent a couple of days on the set of this production.
I did.
So he can give us an exclusive scoop on exactly what to expect from this series, which is premiering on SABC3 next Monday, the 5th of April.
Correct. Okay, well, listen, I took notes because I was there for 3 days and I was just listening to the writers chatting about it. I had the privilege of having chats with some of the cast members. And let me tell you something about the cast members, right? You see, you get cast members and then you get a stellar cast, a top-tier, A-list star of cast members. And that's what The Estate is going to be bringing on the 5th of April.
Beautiful.
It's absolutely incredible. So the whole story is that obviously we live in an unequal country, and I think that that's the core and the crux of it is that the country is so unequal, and we're going to see so much of that inequality coming across. It's all centered around this one family where a really rich and successful mogul who owns an estate tries to fight off a lawyer that's trying to do land claims for the people who are claiming the land, and it just all doesn't go as smoothly and as well as they want to. But the whole thing about it is there's a web of lies, and everybody somehow, there's a highlight of the fact that every single person has something about them that you just don't know.
Oh,
and the veneer
skeletons in the closet.
Of wealth, and skeletons of the closet are going to be coming through, and it's about these 5 families.
Okay.
Do you want to know who they are?
Yeah, so what is the narrative behind the families? Are they representing something?
So all of these different families are different. So you've got the one family, the Pakatwayos, and they're incredibly rich. The man, of course, owns the estate, and then you've got the Molefes, who are just an up-and-coming family out in the township. The wife, Magwena, is an advocate, up-and-coming advocate, with the husband working in the NPO, NGO space. And then you've got a lawyer, a ruthless lawyer. You've got a politician, Mr. Kamanga. It's absolutely insane.
It sounds like
these are characters we know.
Yeah, we know, and
we
it's
see
also
every day.
something that we could potentially all identify with and relate to, which kind of makes it a little bit more personal. It gets us, it gets that buy-in.
That's exactly it.
So it sounds like there's suspense, there's a bit of thrill, there's a big draw to it. How would you label this? Is it a drama?
It's a drama series, yes. So it's not a soapy, and people often do get confused around what's a drama and what's a soapy. Soapies get very, very predictable, whereas dramas are able to get to the crux of the story a lot quicker than what soapies are able to. I mean, a soapy, for example, can draw on and draw out like a whole story arc, whereas a drama series, like what you're going to see with The Estate, is going to introduce the story, but very quickly we're going to be gripping onto the story and getting to the end of it, and we're going to keep moving. And it's such a refreshing approach, I think, for SABC3 to have a show like this, The Estate on SABC3, which, of course, I think the hope is that it sort of replaces Isidingo, which we all came to love, and I think it's going to be beautiful as a format to see and to enjoy.
Oh, man, Tabs, I love it. Now, you mentioned those characters, obviously, before. Is there anyone that stood out for you that you got to meet? Someone that you maybe resonate with as well?
I met Mr. Kamanga.
Okay,
He is a flamboyant politician played by Aubrey Boy, who's a veteran actor. I mean, you're going to see that guy, and you're going to see Fikile Mbalula or Julius Malema or a combination of both, and you're going to be like... And he is just such a character to watch. But I think also who stood out for me was Gigi Pagatwayo, who is, her other name is Georgina, and I think her real name is Georgina, but you're seeing this alter ego, this Gigi character come through, and how evil she gets and how bad she gets in that character, but how sweet she can be to everybody else. And people have a different understanding of who this person is. Everybody's got a different perspective and a different experience of the person. It's actually insane. It's insane.
You selling this to me, I'm definitely going to watch this, man. But obviously, you had a chance to be on set, obviously, looking at everything and everything that's going on and what we can expect for the launch that's coming this week. But what would you say to Mzansi to just brace themselves for, especially when this upcoming week does air the show? What do you think?
I think that it's going to be a roller coaster of experiences that we're going to see on The Estate. We are going to fall in love with the characters, but we're going to find ourselves being conflicted many times, where you're just like, I know that the things that this person's doing are wrong and this shouldn't be happening and I shouldn't be loving this character, but you're going to be sympathizing with the person. And whether you're sympathizing with them because they're rich or not is going to be very interesting to see. And that's going to challenge the way that we approach real life and how we approach, you know, our relationship with rich people and those who don't have. And it's really all about, like you said, the haves and the haves not.
The haves and the haves not. I love it.
Yeah.
Well, Tubbs, you really definitely sold.
Look at the cast.
I cannot wait to see this. It looks like exceptional quality. The production value seems like something from the IMAX itself, and we are definitely going to continue to give an exclusive behind-the-scenes coverage about this exciting new show throughout this coming week. So keep it locked to your Feel Good Breakfast show, and the estate debuts with an exciting double bill on Monday, the 5th of April. And you can catch it at 7 p.m. and escape the norm with SABC3.
Now, with a phenomenal combined resume that boasts shows like Generations, Skeem Saam, Uzalo, and Muvango, it is no wonder that acclaimed and veteran actors alike, I'm talking names like Clementine Mosimane, Brad Don, Mlangeni, Danelle Langer, superstars, have all joined the cast of the upcoming new primetime telenovela, The Estate. Your voice has got to drop an octave. The Estate. Now, two of the incredible brains behind the writing talent, Chisanga Kabinga and Bongi Ndaba, are now joining us via video call to share more about what has gone into building the show's very complex and multifaceted world and what will hopefully be some enthralling and engrossing characters. Ladies, a very good morning. Welcome to the show.
Morning. How are you?
I'm very excited to unpack this with you. Chisanga, I'm going to ask the first question to you. Now, the narrative of The Estate, it begins with a lot of backstory that will really unfold and draw the viewers in. What did it take to build this complex history and story between the characters?
Well, we wanted to have characters that have a very rich backstory, and we didn't want to lose out on the opportunity to see what actually makes them, what gives them their drive, what has broken them, what has made them into what they are. So stylistically, we made the choice to be able to go back into very important moments between these two brothers and see what it is that has traumatized them, what drives them, what forms them. And there was a lot of back and forth referencing history, referencing where they come from, like what region in KZN they come from, where they grew up, and to bring that alive. It took a lot of debates, a lot of conversation, a lot of arguing in the writing room, ultimately to bring it to the screen.
Because you want those layers. You want to be able to peel back those layers because that's what gets us investing in the characters. Bongi, the themes on the show, they deal with land, identity, money, corruption, and class, the perfect setting for a drama telenovela to unfold. Why was it important for production to focus on these kinds of topics in that narrative, all so pertinent right now?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's so topical, it's so current. It has affected all of us, whether we like it or not. We live with corruption. We discuss corruption every day. We discuss the class, the differences between poor and rich in South Africa. There's a big gap. And also the places where we stay, people who stay in the estates and people who stay in shacks. That is South Africa on the picture. That's what estate will be. That's what we're reflecting. So it was very important for us to hit those points right and correctly, because this is what affects everybody, whether you're poor or rich, educated, whatever, rural, urban, it's the same thing. We're all affected by it.
Incredible stuff, ladies. Don't move a muscle. We're going to ask them both to stick around. There is too much going on in the estate not to continue this conversation. Chisanga and Bongi are going to stick around. You two should do the same.
In a world where everything seems perfect, high walls, high life, high expectations.
There's a solid buzz around the development. I'm sure they're gonna buy it.
When the truth refuses to stay buried.
What do you think you're doing? You gave me a word.
And the past comes knocking.
I come bearing gifts and surprises.
Betrayal can lead to destruction. Introducing a new daily drama with an award-winning cast. The Estate starts Monday the 5th of April at 7 on 3.
can make my day.
Here's to you, Mzansi. Combine multiple loans into one with one affordable repayment. Get a Nedbank personal loan. Apply at nedbank.co.za/personal loans.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
We are back on your Feel Good Breakfast Show, and you're just in time as we're catching up with two of the brains behind the writing talent of a new telenovela, The Estate. Chisanga and Bongi, they are back via video call. Ladies, can't wait to get into this. This new program, it also forms part of SABC3's lineup that is repositioning itself. How do the characters and the themes line up with the issues and people that the channel wants to represent and communicate with?
When we first started developing the story, we had a conversation with Channel, and they kind of basically told us how they wanted to position themselves, who they were targeting. And so for us, luckily, there was a very nice overlap between the people that they were talking to and the writers in the rooms. A big chunk of the people that Channel is targeting are sort of upwardly mobile millennials, and a secondary audience is a slightly older audience, and those are exactly the people that were in the room, you know? So we were able to talk to them, and young Black people tell us these are their dreams for themselves. They're sitting on the edge of sort of culture and modernity and renegotiating their lives, but not necessarily leaving behind their cultural identity. And what was interesting was that especially for the young Black millennial, is that they're not necessarily leaving one lifestyle behind, but they're negotiating a new identity in the new South Africa. An upmarket estate allows us to see a cross-section of people, and the show then represents a microcosm of the country. We see white people who have to deal with Black people, colored people who have to deal with people from different backgrounds. So it's a very nice melting pot that we hope South Africans and this particular SABC3 audience sees itself in. Whether you are a Gen Z who's like 15 and trying to figure out your identity in school, or you're a varsity dropout, or you are older and you're trying to just live your life. So there's a little bit of everything for everybody.
Thank you for including that slightly older audience. Yeah. I appreciate that, personally, from the bottom of my heart. What I'm loving there is this dynamic tension that's going to be created through these themes and these kind of very strong characters. So, Bongi, this is, I got to ask, I'd be remiss if I didn't, without giving too much away, of course, what are some of the juicy storylines that we're going to be able to sink our teeth into that's going to hook viewers to the narrative, starting from episode 1?
Well, it's all the juicy storylines that telenovelas are always known about, but we took it a notch up because, as Chisanga explained, we worked so hard on the brotherhood because most people and most of us, a lot of people in Joburg are coming here to make money, are coming here to find their pot of gold. So we played a lot around that with these two brothers who ended up being like strangers to each other because they lived a different life, but they are bonded by blood. So that is the biggest thing, that they can't run away from because of the teachings that they had way back home in the rurals. How does that affect you when you are here? And also we have the usual lifestyles of the estate. You have the rich housewives in the estate. You have the young millennials who stay in the estate, trying to negotiate their way with other people they mingle with who do not come from the same background as them. And of course, there's the relationships, the love triangles are always loved by the audience. We will never stay away from that.
Oh, we love a good love
We
triangle.
need some entanglements.
Yes.
We need some entanglements.
Absolutely.
Well, I have a question for the both of you. I mean, being part of the brains behind the writing team, how are you hoping to leave your professional impact on the writing team of this show?
Well, like Graham said, we've been doing at the top of the at that very nice introduction.
It's completely warranted, man.
Thank you. So we've been working in the industry for a very long time, and so this is just a continuation of that journey, you know, of showing the kind of work that we do. We both work and do very character-driven type work, and so this is something we hope that we'll be proud to put our name to. But we've worked really hard to put this together with a very amazing team, and we hope that the audience will like it. But you know, they've seen our names for
different
many years
places.
on different shows. You know, on the plantation for a while.
But also to add on that, our thing is that you have to tell the truth of that story we are telling and the truth of those characters. We both love character-driven stories because you go to the truth, whether the viewers like that character or they love to hate the character. It's the truth of that character, and you have to be authentic, be consistent with it. Once you do that, even the character that's not most liked, that does the bad things, people would love because they understand why they are like that. And also telling stories that resonate with people and people that relate to, stories that are us as Africans, all of us, whether Indian, black, white, colored, whatever, that are us. We want those stories that represent who we are, and we tell the truth, not stories that are mixed with things that we are looking outside of South Africa. We want authentic South African stories, and that's what we stick to.
Ladies, you've already made your mark, so don't worry about that. And I have no doubt that this is going to paint you both in an incredible light. It sounds amazing. And I love the fact that everyone living in an estate now is going to be looking at their neighbors in a completely different light after watching this. But we absolutely love you guys for the work that you put into the creative arts. We really appreciate you. We applaud you. We tip our hats. Every other superlative I can think of applies to you guys. So all the best of luck. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Well, there we go. The estate debuts with an exciting double bill on Monday, the 5th of April. You can catch it at 7 p.m. and escape the norm with SABC3.
To those that know me, know that family is everything to me. My father said a man's land is his kingdom.
You are not going to buy our souls with your jobs and your money. But if it wasn't for my taxi money, you wouldn't have had that estate.
Well, at least we know that our ancestors both love money.
You have a good marriage. Don't mess it up, brother.
Hey, chocolate. Well, I mean, who doesn't want to live at Echelon Estates?
Introducing a new daily drama with an award-winning cast.
To the dream.
To the dream.
The Estate starts Monday, the 5th of April at 7 on 3.
Welcome back. Welcome back. That's going to be one to watch on the 5th of April at 7 o'clock here on SABC3. They really are going to help us all escape the norm. It's The Estate. Thank you very much, Zoe and Graham, as well as connecting with Bongi Ndaba and the writers at The Estate.
Speaking of connecting, of course, we're connecting with you, Mzansi. It's Tuesday, and we're choosing to spend it with you, and we chatted to you on social media this morning, asking you what the top 3 things you do in your day or when you start your day to kick up that positivity. And we've got some answers coming through. Crystal Dean Galant Harvey says, I get my daughter lunch ready for work and prepare her breakfast at 3:30 a.m.
Yeah.
Tubbs, what are you doing at 3:30 a.m. in the morning?
Just going to bed.
Wow, that is impressive. For the cause, loving what you're doing there. And she starts every morning this way. She meditates, exercise, brunch, brush my teeth, and eat breakfast. Watch Expresso morning show. Good morning, guys. Crystal, you do like a whole day by the time it's 9 in the morning already.
No, Crystal, you're an overachiever. And I'm here for it. I love it. Siobhan, Potier says, Potier. Firstly, give God thanks for a brand new day. Yes, Queen, I can experience. And then have a cup of coffee whilst watching my favorite show, Expresso.
I love it.
What's better than cup of coffee in hand, Expresso on screen, self on couch?
I think you got me stumped there. I have no answer for you, my friend. Last but not least, Christine Skipper says, devotional and prayer time at 5 a.m. I watch Expresso at the same time. I do my list of things and all the things I want to do during the day. I think Zanzi seems like they've got a beautiful schedule in the morning, and I can see why you guys are coming through with all those positive comments every day when you're watching the show. So once again, from Tubbs and I and the rest of the crew, I want to say thank you so much for chatting, for contributing, and for being a part of this beautiful family.
Be the hero in your home with Leroy Merlin DIY retail stores and the widest selection of construction, hardware, kitchen, bathroom, home decor, and garden products.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show, because you are just in time. I'm talking about from decadent chocolate cakes to quick, easy, and delicious microwave cakes, and now a lighter, healthier, yet equally mouth-watering Easter pumpkin nut and date cake. Now, we are really serving up all of the Easter treats this weekend for you, this morning especially. And this mouth-watering Easter recipe, which we're about to make in the kitchen, it is made by Mishka Gool, who joins us in studio. She is, of course, one of our Be Well ambassadors as well as chefs, and she's joining us this morning as we really get to also use, and you know, the great thing about Be Well is it is loaded with omega-3s. It has a dense Be Well canola oil, which also means that you'll be looking after your heart and your appetite all at the same time. So, Mishka, I'm so happy that you're in the kitchen.
Zoe.
I love that you said this is a recipe that you have created and designed.
Yes.
Okay.
So you'll find this recipe in our Immune Boosting Cookbook, which is online. It's free to download. And I am so excited to share this with you. It is one of the healthy recipes. It's perfect for this healthy month coming up. Let's get into it.
Let's get into it.
So I'm going to start off with, get you busy. We're
Okay,
do
cool.
the icing first.
Okay.
So TV Life, we have the yogurt that's already sat overnight. Basically, you're going to put the yogurt in a sieve and you're going to let it get all the liquid dripping down. And so we're going to mix this into our icing sugar.
Okay.
So I'm going to get you to do that. We're going to add a little bit of our coconut flour and then your vanilla essence.
There we go.
So while Zoe's doing that, I am going to be moving on to the actual cake of the recipe.
Okay.
So equally, there is a lot of prep, and this is why this
a lot
is
of
quite
elements involved.
A lot of elements. So we got our beautiful pumpkin over here.
amazing ingredient, especially for a healthy recipe. It's full of good fibers, full of phytonutrients, and this has also been squeezed out all the juices out.
Okay, so we don't want too much of the moisture.
We're actually trying to get rid of all that excess moisture. So I'm going to bring this over here. I have 4 eggs. If you are going vegan, you can replace it with a flax egg. Perfectly okay. So I got my 4 eggs, and I'm adding in just over half a cup of sugar. We got about 180 grams. Again, a healthy recipe. So if you don't want to go brown sugar, you can use your stevia. You can even go with your coconut nectar, which is...
I love how this is already a healthy recipe and you're giving us even additional healthy elements and substitutes
all the
to
healthy
it.
elements.
There we go.
I'm just creaming this over here.
There we go.
How's that going?
It's going well. There's a little bit of lumps, but I'll work it out.
Work it out, and you'll notice that again, yogurt as icing, where did that come from? Gut bacteria is epic. It's so ripe for optimal health and optimal body function.
There we go.
Okay, so my eggs and my sugar are nice and they're creamed enough.
Okay.
And now I'm going to be sifting in my dry ingredients. So over here I have 330 grams of our all-purpose flour.
There we go.
Again, if you are gluten-free, this is perfect for your gluten-free flours as well. And I'm going to sift that in.
There we go.
And this just keeps it nice and light. This is another way to just add your love into your food. I think it's so important, Zoe.
Are you someone that, like, you know, when it comes to like having plants and greenery inside the house, is that you?
It's definitely
give off that energy.
It's me. I like something to clean my air, right?
There we
and
go.
add the ambiance. I'm also sifting in a little bit of salt and my bicarb. And while I'm in it, I'm going to add in my spices. So spices, again, another way to hack into the body. They have so much health benefits. I have over here some cinnamon and some nutmeg.
There we go.
And I have some allspice, so you can tell it's like quite a spicy mix, but it really complements the pumpkin, so on. It's kind of like an autumn recipe.
And also the great thing is the dates will add a bit of sweetness to it, back into our recipe.
Back into the recipe with dates. Okay, so we have our dates over here, and they have been soaking also overnight in bourbon, or you can use apple juice or water. And I love it that because the bottom is really mushy and the top gets really crispy. So we're going to add that in as well.
There we go.
Gonna add that, and in one go, it looks difficult, so easy. You can see everything just goes.
See, we're getting our veggies in for the day.
And we got our pumpkin. Bam. How's the icing there?
The icing is smooth. It's looking good. I feel like I've done a great job, but you're doing most of the work over there.
Have. I'm gonna stir this in, and again, you can see the pumpkin. I mean, it looks a little bit like one of those carrot cakes.
Yes.
And it's utilizing our plants to really bring the base, so that's like plant base, right?
There we go, yes.
And if we weren't using the egg, this would be a completely vegan recipe.
Okay.
Okay, do you want to do this little mixing?
Let me get into I'll do the elbow
mixing.
grease for you. Yes, I'll be your little assistant.
And again, a cake with all these vitamins, with these minerals, amazing amount of phytonutrients from that pumpkin. Any of the color is what we are wanting in our food, especially if you're going healthy. So I have a good amount of walnuts over here. Another way to pack in your omega-3. So I'm going to add a good handful of those. I'm going to keep some for topping afterwards.
Okay, cool.
And in that same moment, omega-3, another one of our food hacks, in my opinion. So I'm going to put a cup of our Be Well pure canola.
There we go. And what's amazing about this Be Well canola oil, it's locally produced. I love that it's low in saturated fats, cholesterol free.
Non-GMO free. It's non-GMO, not GMO free. And again, it has a balance of that perfect ratio of omega-3 to 6, which your body needs for anti-inflammatory. Okay. So you get that stirred, and while you're doing that, I'm going to get a bun tin. And with our second product, which is the baking spray, I love it. It adds a natural buttery flavor, another omega-3 boost.
There we go.
And we're going to spray it nice because no one wants to put all this amazing effort into your cake and then have it stick and then you can't even enjoy it. That, I think, is the nightmare of all for me.
But I think it makes it also a little bit easier that we've got a silicone tin. It just makes getting our cake out a little bit easier.
Definitely.
There we go.
Okay, Zoe, how does that look?
This looks good. I think we might need to stir it a little bit more, but since we are running out of time, are you going to get the elbow grease into it? There you go.
I'm going to get this in here as well.
So for how long will we pop this into the oven?
So this is going into an oven at 180 degrees, and it's going to be there for about 30 to 40 minutes.
Amazing.
And when it's done, you're going to take it out, let it cool completely, because we are going to be putting on our yogurt icing
that I made especially for us. Well, there we go. Mishka, I love this recipe. I love that every ingredient you have chosen has been thought through and it's all good for our body. So if you would love to get your hands on Mishka's delicious recipe, that is the finished product what we were making using our Be Well canola oil. It is available on expressoshow.com, and this looks amazing. Oh, unbelievable. I feel like we need to celebrate someone's birthday with this.
I feel like we need to dive into this cake after this.
Well, definitely check out the recipe at expressoshow.com.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, it looks so delicious.
Testing us today, man.
I'm testing our resolve.
Definitely enjoying that.
Beautiful
well, of course,
stuff
it's
there,
time to commemorate and I think celebrate the heroes in our community, of course. And with all heroes, it's not often that they wear capes. And that's why for Pharmacy of the Week this week, we're celebrating and commemorating all the incredible work that's been done by our frontline workers and, of course, our pharmacies and their communities too.
And man, they've had to play such a vital role over the last year as well. And this is just our way of saying thank you to those healthcare workers right here and now. Proudly brought to you by Adcock Ingram OTC, in fact, the sponsors of Brave.
Our pharmacies are on the front line of healthcare. This is Pharmacy of the Week.
Over the past 25 years, this pharmacist has become more and more important to both myself and to the community. And the people that he has employed over the years have complimented him, and he's trained them very well. Other dispensaries, advertising and radio, I've never met another one like this.
For Central Pharmacy, to be brave means to be here and to do what's important and needs to be done, even if we all have fears and uncertainties about the COVID pandemic.
Pharmacy of the Week, proudly brought to you by Adcock Ingram OTC, sponsors of Brave.
Phenomenal people. We just want you to know that we see you, we recognize you, and we applaud you at Boksburg Pharmacy. We appreciate you. Well done, guys.
back to it. Your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso. We're live here on SABC3. It's a Tuesday morning, guys. You know the drill.
We need to apologize in advance.
No need for any apologies. In fact, we're going to be rocking you. You're in for a treat today because, I mean, the song we're about to sing is so close to my heart. We've even got a nice comment about it.
We do, and let me tell you why we're singing the song. Because Eliza Schluter came through and she says, I love you guys so much. You should try a Westlife song for next week. So this is especially for Eliza as well. And this is why we're doing the song today.
Crazy girl, you crazy.
But we'll play to your crazy.
If we must, we shall do it. Look, I think we once we had done Celine Dion, we had crossed that line.
Yeah, the other line was
crossed. Well, I mean, we're up for the challenge, right?
Okay, it's a long song, so we'll start in the chorus.
The chorus is the best part of the song.
I think let's do that.
Might be the only
part I know.
Mr. DJ, and please just sit down. Whatever you're doing right now, make sure you're not standing because this is going to knock you down.
If you are standing, you will fall down.
You will fall. All right, so you ready, guys? That's actually quite good, eh? Do, a deer, a female deer. Okay, now I'm ready.
Let's do the thanks, people.
Mr. DJ, take it away.
I'll always look back as I walk away. This memory will last for eternity. And all of our tears will be lost in the rain. When I found my way back to your arms again. But until that day, the queen of my heart. Yes, queen. Yes, queen. The queen of my heart. Come on. Yeah. Smash it.
Okay, let's go.
So let's take tonight and never let go. We'll dance and we'll kiss like there's no tomorrow. As the stars sparkle down like a diamond ring. We'll treasure this moment till we meet again. But no matter how far you may be, just close my eyes. You're in my dreams, and there you will be until we meet. I'll always look back as I walk away. This memory will last for eternity, and all of our tears will be lost in the rain. When I found my way back to your arms again, but until that day, you know you are the queen of my heart. Yes, queen.
Come on.
Yes. I'll always look back as I walk away. This memory will last for eternity. And all of our tears, you're gonna make me lost in the rain. And I found my way back to your arms again. Until that day, you know you are the queen of my heart. Oh, yeah, you're the queen of my heart. No matter how many years it takes, I'll give it all to you. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes, you are. You are the queen of my
You're all queens of my heart, just so you know.
Thank you.
Are there any words to say after that?
Oh, we used all.
This is like one of those, isn't this one of those, like, how do you do it, like, drop mic moments? And you
No,
just
no,
like,
no. This one is a gentle
Where
one.
you
This
block
one-
your ears and hide your face.
But also, you might, I mean, you break your pair.
Well done, guys. It was
Very nice. Let us know what you thought of that performance on our Facebook page, Expresso Morning Show, SABC3, with the hashtag Expresso Show. We also want to hear from you. Next week, Tuesday, we do this again, and we want to hear from you which songs you'd like to hear and see.
Pavarotti. I'm thinking Pavarotti.
Oh, no.
Come on, man. If we can do Westlife.
I'm not here on that day.
I'm with G, though. We've gotten this far. We might as well go all the way. Luciano.
Not feeling well
Come
that
on.
day. Not feeling well that day. In fact, already not feeling well in advance.
I'll do it. I'll do it.
Let us know your beautiful selves. We'll see you around for the next one.
Oh, yeah, no. No, Pavarotti is not happening. We're not doing Pavarotti unless you ask for it, guys. On our Expresso Money Show SABC3 Facebook page. Come on in, guys. Put your mics away.
My knees are actually weak after that, man.
I had a moment in the song. Someone taught me this technique where, like, you use your mouth to really produce those sounds.
Yeah.
And I thought if I scrounged my face up enough, I could hit the note, but
No,
it didn't work.
you still couldn't.
It didn't work.
Guys, I don't know if you missed this. I was
Yes.
in Joburg last week and I got to visit the family in SABC3, or at SABC3, at Trending SA.
Oh, nice.
It was so much fun. Those guys are lots of fun. I mean, wow. You laugh so much at everything that's been happening during the week on social media.
Was it nice to be able to kind of be a little bit more kind of racy and naughty?
because
You know?
here we're nice and like warm and family.
And there you could let the
Whereas
shade
there I could
come
say
out.
anything about anyone and not get into trouble for it. I loved it so much.
Oh, look, there's Uncle. And he's letting it out, eh?
Letting it all out. But listen, do catch Trending SA, of course, here on SABC3. They're on at 6 p.m. Mondays to Fridays. Oh, yes.
Did you give it a there, here, and everywhere?
I gave it to them over here, over there, and everywhere. We'll see you guys tomorrow. We love you. Bye-bye.
Don't forget it.
Today. Smile.
Make the most of glorious summer with your picnic favorites. Made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.